My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. This is the call-in show. If you're new here and you don't know what this is a very casual live show where viewers like you can call in. Whoa. And sometimes we drink on this show. Where viewers like you can call in, ask questions, hang out, talk about the fights that happened 2 days ago or the fights that are about to happen in a couple of days. Welcome to the show. Before we talk about anything, before we have some callers on, I just want to thank Young LA. This is presented by Young LA. This sweet hat is from Young LA, so we thank them for their support. And if you want to show them support as well, you can go to youngla.com. Before we start taking calls, before we start diving in, let's take a look at the betting results that were UFC Vegas 97. That was a wildly successful event for us. And I know right now I'm heads up against Monday Night Football, so I have no idea what this live viewership is going to be. But the reality is it's a Monday. I'm here, so I figured let's go live and let's take some calls. But UFC Vegas 97 was very successful for both Jacob and myself. Obviously, Jacob and I both had bets on Chris Padilla. He was Jacob's underdog lock of the week. So Jacob had that big boy bet on him at plus 245. And I know a lot of you tailed that, and a lot of you reaped those benefits. I'm seeing in the comments now. Let's see. I just saw greatest lock of the week of all time. Where the hell is that comment? Did that just disappear? All right, Padilla for the win. Here it is. Greatest lock of the week of all time. It was statistically the best lock of the week this year at plus 245. Biggest underdog he picked on the year. And frankly, if you don't know what Jacob does and what the lock of the week is, he picks an underdog every week, calls them the lock of the week. And frankly, he's picking at an alarming rate, a shocking accuracy for picking pure underdogs. Every single person is supposed to lose. That's what an underdog is. And he's doing it at incredible accuracy. He's had some really impressive ones this year. Max Holloway was an incredible one. Chris Padilla was the biggest underdog he had on the year. He picked Sean O'Malley against Aljo. He had a couple fun ones, and this one certainly was a great one as well. But overall, Jakey Boy and I are both up. We had a great event. And what always surprises me, listen, I'm drinking, we're hanging out, it's a casual show. If you want to join this stream, the link to join, if you log into Premium, it's on your account page, or if you go to the Discord, it's in the Premium Alerts channel. I'm competing with Monday Night Football. We're only going to hang out for a little bit here, so I'm not expecting too much, but I'm home, so let's hang out. What always surprises me is, I have different levels of confidence going into a fight week. Saturday morning, I'll wake up, and sometimes it's like, oh, this is going to be a great event. I can just tell. Last week, that's what it felt like. Oh, this is going to be a great event. I can just tell. This week, I didn't love it. The events after a week off usually are a little sketchy. I wasn't feeling it this week. I woke up, I was like, oh man, this is going to be tricky. And then my bets did really well. I hit the Yanal Ashmiles money line. I hit the Sean Brady Natalia Silva parlay. I hit the Jacqueline Amorim inside the distance decision no action. I hit my Chris Padilla plus 3.5. I did lose that freaking parlay because of the Dalgarian under 1.5. And I did lose on Felipe Dos Santos. Jakey Boy hit a whole bunch of bets. He bet quite a bit. He had 9 units out the door, brought back almost 13. So overall, it was a great night for us. We're looking forward. We're looking forward to UFC 306. And UFC 306, I have a bunch of bets. I have way more bets on the board than I normally would at this time of the week. And I'm feeling really good about this week. I don't know why. Pay-per-views, we tend to do far better than regular fight nights. And here's a screenshot of that. 7 of 9 pay-per-views this year were profitable. 12 units of net profit, a 12% ROI just for pay-per-views alone. On the year, we're up. Straight up across the board. Fight nights, pay-per-views, doesn't matter. Pay-per-views specifically, we tend to hit at an alarming rate, 78% this year. So I'm looking forward to this year's pay-per-views. I've got a pretty big betting slate already, about 4 units on the board already. If you do want to check out all the bets, the picks, the round line leans, and everything else for UFC 306, you can do so now. Just go to WeWantPicks.com, click Become a Member. You're going to unlock tools. Data Analyzer is one of those tools. And somebody asked, hey, I can really watch film from the Data Analyzer? And yes, of course you can. It is literally the single greatest research tool. Not everybody likes doing their own research. Some people do. If you like doing your own research, well, then this tool is literally all you need. It'll have every statistic you could ever imagine. Then you can filter down on the specific stats you want to see. From there, it'll live update a chart, and on that chart, you'll get plot points. Each plot point is a specific fighter. You click the dot, boom, you're watching the fight. You do need to, we're not hosting copywritten or illegal content. So the fights, the plot point, it's a tape index. It's not the actual videos on our website. You click the button and it'll pop up in a new window, whether it's on ESPN, whether it's on Fight, wherever that video is, it'll pop up and then you can watch it. It's very helpful. You know where I use it, and I genuinely use my own, I like to say eat my own dog food. It's when I'm breaking down UFC debuts that came off the Contender series. Those are the easiest ones, because finding those fights are actually a pain in the ass. You would think you could go to Fight Pass and just see Contender series. Here's each fight. It's not. Fight Pass is, for as important as it is to the space of doing your own research, Fight Pass might have the worst website design of any major media or sports outlet. It's ridiculous. It sucks. So I use it for that. You're going to get the Prop Hunter. Every week I see shout outs to the Prop Hunter. All this is a curated set of data specifically designed to help you find prop bets. For example, you're looking at this screenshot, and this is a screenshot from when we first released it. So it's Rose Namajunas versus Tracy Cortez. And you will see across the board for strikes and then takedowns, across the board for strikes, you'll see how many strikes does Rose Namajunas land on average? How many does she land in a decision? What does that look like for her average fight minutes? And you can work your way across. And then when you see those specific prop bets drop, it's very black and white, plain right in front of you. Oh, this is supposed to go the distance. And boom. Her line is 50, and I see that any fight that she is in a decision for, she lands 70. Easy breezy, beautiful cover girl. The line movement tracker, opening odds, current odds, win probability, and line movement for every fighter on every card. This is where you can monitor if a fighter is moving in the direction you want them to or the opposite direction, so you know whether to pull the trigger or sit back and wait. You're also going to get the DraftKings Optimizer. This is preloaded with ownership projections every single week. We tend to come out on top of the ownership projection world, and that's preloaded into the Optimizer. And you can get more than just me. Artem, this handsome devil dog, is going to be up here giving you his Contender Series picks, his bets, all the regional shows, and he's been doing quite well. And my bad if I'm wrong here, Artie, but he's been doing quite well on the Contender Series picks. And then Jacob, assuming he's available, usually does the Contender Series live stream. So Artem's giving you the insight, the analysis, and the picks. And then Jacob is literally, his whole thing is, this stupid fucking camera. His whole thing is that he will watch the fights with no research whatsoever. Just coming in blind, watching the fights just to enjoy the fights. And he's making picks and bets based solely off of, I think, the walkout. And last week he hit that massive underdog because she was top heavy, if you know what I mean. We also do a mail day for all the vlogs. I'm going to hit that. We have a ton of comments. I'm going to hit these comments up in a second. Just let me get through the intro. We do a mail day. If you don't know, we do vlogs. Every single pay-per-view, we film a vlog. We're hanging out. We're watching the fights. We're reacting. We're cooking good food. People are coming over, having some laughs, doing all the things. And we film it. Part of the vlog is a mail day. We get mail from all sorts of viewers, sometimes companies. We open the mail. We react to the mail. I am looking at a stack of mail right now. We have what is, I'm positive, a vulgar article that I'm going to open on the stream or on the vlog. And it was quite embarrassing because we have a P.O. box, and this very vulgar, offensive item that was mailed to us, which it says on the outside what it is, wasn't in the P.O. box. There was a little piece of paper, and I had to walk up to the counter and hand them the paper and then sign for it. So that I literally said to the guy, I go, this is a prank. This isn't real. And he just goes, So that wasn't great. All sorts of mail. This Fight Food Vlogs mail day is going to be interesting. But if you do want to send something, we have letters as well that we're just going to read. P.O. Box 406 in Prosper, Texas, 75078. And finally, if you want 50 smackaroos, we'll send them to you. We have affiliate marketing deals with a bunch of different places. The sportsbooks specifically are on wewantpicks.com/bets. If you use the link on that webpage and you sign up, you make a new account, you make a deposit, we send you $50 to thank you. They're going to pay me, and I'm going to slice off some of that money and give it right back to you. There's a couple hundred in you right now, and I appreciate that. I am competing directly with Monday Night Football, the first Monday Night Football. So let's run through these comments. Listen, a whole bunch of these. Here, guys. This alcohol is to get the AIDS away. If you're wondering why anytime I pop up anywhere, there's a whole bunch of AIDS comments, it is because, for whatever reason, Jacob told everybody I have AIDS. Then he commented it, asked me to read it, and he clipped that audio and he just plays it. Now he has doubled down. On his live stream Saturday, it was not only, I hopped in. It was a live stream. This freaking camera, look at this. It's going to follow me around. I bought this dumbass camera being like, this is cool. It's going to follow me. I can move it around. This is cool. The problem is it doesn't memorize your settings. Like, I love that it's on a gimbal, and there have been times where I used it with Jacob, but I don't want it just anytime I do a gesture. Anyway, he's doubled down. He's doing his live stream on Saturday, and I popped it on. I'm home. We're getting ready. We're going around a corner to a neighbor's house for their birthday. I'm watching the fights. I've got my laptop. I'm listening to his live stream. My wife is next to me getting ready. And then I just comment because I'm supportive Ange. Good luck today, guys. Good luck, Jacob. And Jacob's like, Angelo's here. Everybody, guys, it's not, give Angelo thoughts and prayers. It's not going great for him. He has AIDS, and turns out he also has Down syndrome and crabs. So now it's just snowballing, and there's comment after comment after comment about the AIDS. I don't have AIDS. There are no AIDS. I don't know what that's for. We want picks smashed UFC Vegas 97. The predictions were spot on. They were. Not only were the predictions spot on, the bets were too. I think Jacob went 8-4 in picks. I went 10-2 in picks, and we were both up big money. The ROI was there. It was a phenomenal event for us. And I was texting Jacob after the fact, and I literally, he was riding high, as he should be. The lock of the week has it how it's been doing. I think he's feeling himself, loving it. We still get some people that comment dumb shit, but that's fine. So he's riding high. I'm filming the video, the recap video, and I literally was texting. I was like, I don't know how we're this good. And that sounds insane, but I'm serious. We're betting on fist fights. And it's not like all boats rise in high tide, right? If it's an event where there's 5 very clear, obvious winners and everybody bets on them and it hits and everybody makes money, it's a little different, right? That's not what this has been. If you go to Twitter, there are foreigners charging $100-something for their bets that are down 20 grand a week, every week. Oh, bad week, down to 18 units. Oh, another bad week, down 25 units. Holy shit. And Jacob and I are here every week making money. I genuinely, and this isn't just like, oh, buy the premium. I'm 100%. I don't know how we're doing it. And I've said it in private text messages. It's crazy how good we are at this. I don't know how we're doing it. I mean, obviously we're watching the tape. We're looking at the fights and we're making the picks and risking the money on the spots that we think make sense. This last week was especially astonishing. When Twitter, and maybe Twitter is just horrible at betting. That could be what it is. But when everybody who does what we do on Twitter is like, shit week, all the favorites won, what a terrible week, and oh, Rong Zhu was winning that fight, and then that, everybody was crying about God knows what, and we made money, and that's what I don't understand. It's like, how? But we're somehow doing it, so it was spot on. We did find our spots, and the reason Jacob does so well picking underdogs, people were breaking down the stats, and literally statistically, he's the best underdog picker in any of this space. The reason he does that so well is because he has he's developed some biases over time, but he has no biases, right? I wrestled a giant chunk of my life. I managed professional fighters. I've been in that world for a while. So I have opinions that I have formed since I've been watching UFC literally at UFC 1. And sometimes it's hard to shake those. You guys know, you yell at me all the time when I favor wrestlers, when I favor control time, when I think forward pressure matters and not damage. You guys let me know all the time. So I have 20 or 30 years, whatever the hell it is, actually 30-something years of watching UFC, being involved as a manager, experience. And that factors into the picks. Jacob doesn't, in a good way. He literally just watches the tape. He's like, this guy's going to win. I could give a shit if he's an underdog. And that's how he's picking him so well. When we are aligned on the underdog pick, like when his lock of the week is also a dog that I picked, it typically does pretty well. But what was crazy this past week is we both picked Chris Padilla. I wasn't nearly as confident in him as he was, but, great for him, right? And as soon as he said it's the underdog lock, he texted me. He's like, Rangju sucks, right? I was like, yes. And he's like, Padilla's going to be the lock of the week. And I was like, perfect. Because I trust him. So if I picked him and then he picked him, I'm like, oh, thank God. Even when I pick somebody and he picks the opposite as a dog, I'm like, oh, shit. Uh-oh. But what was crazy about this week that our bets hit is we were heads up. He bet on Vanessa Demopoulos. I bet on Jacqueline Amora. He bet on Gabriel Santos. I was on the other side with Yiza. Like, we were opposite. And we still both made money. It was absolutely crazy. It was statistically, as I mentioned, the greatest lock of the week of the year for sure. More AIDS. Winning like Charlie Sheen, more AIDS. Jakey Boy is, he's not streaming. He wasn't up to it. He's not streaming. I figured I would just go live and do it. I think he's going live tomorrow for Contender Series. Frankly, I told him like 2 weeks ago, I'm like, dude, you're going to burn yourself out. Live streaming multiple days a week for hours on end. Our stream is 2 hours. The Contender Series is a couple hours. Saturdays are 7 hours. And then to do these quick-ass turnarounds. It was one thing when it was just him and I Tuesday, Saturday. But now, like, these quick turnarounds with live Contender Series, I don't know how he does it. I'm sitting here fumbling. He does this for hours on end. We making money now. Chris Taco. I lost my parlays because I had Garcia, Kyle over, but I had Isaac over as well. Yeah, I mean, the Isaac over was very, very, very annoying. I got texts immediately following when I lost that parlay because of the under on the Isaac fight, and people were saying he tapped. The ref didn't see it, but he tapped. Brendan Moret tapped. I wasn't paying that close enough attention. I was just standing up like, yes, come on, come on, come on. And then when it went into the second round, I was like, it's not happening. It's not happening. So that absolutely sucked. Artem, you do a good job on the Contender Series videos. He certainly does. You know what's funny? This is Angie Boy drinking. Anybody's here, enjoy the show. Artem, after the first Contender Series, I think Artem went 4-1 on picks. 4-1. There's only 5 fights. He went 4-1. He only missed one. And he opened his next video, as he should. I went 4-1. Let's break down this card. And there were still people, one person, who commented saying, you went 4-1, well, all the favorites won. So it doesn't matter. It's like, what? Who gives a So when all the favorites win and you do well, as Artem did, you're going to complain. But then an event like UFC Vegas 97, where all the favorites won, except for one, and you lose, it's an excuse. Well, all the favorites won. Dude, it's picking fights correctly is picking fights correctly, and that's just that. Artem is doing a great job. He said he's already ahead with week 6. It is crazy. Listen, I genuinely don't think anybody is as regimented as I am. You're going to get those Sunday videos literally no matter what. If I have to film them 4 days ahead of time, here's a perfect example. We went to UFC 303 in Las Vegas. Watched the fights, got drunk. That Sunday morning, the day after, new video popped up on the channel, ready to go for you. I filmed it 4 days ahead of time because it's all about the schedule. It's all about making sure people get what they want, when they want, expect it, week in and week out. It's about the consistency. Artem is right there with me because Artem is sending me his videos. I post them. It's all timing, right? If you post videos too soon, they'll fail. If you wait too long, they'll fail. So I post his Contender Series videos at what I think is the appropriate time. But he sends them to me way early, like way early. It's crazy. So I just got an email from YouTube today, and the email said, we're going to be pushing member videos like crazy. And if you don't know what members are, here's one. The little icon they have, and they're a different color, they're members on the channel. It's like a couple of dollars. The only perks you get are if we make videos available early, you'll get those, and you get like priority and comments and stuff like that. Dylan Summers is another member. What I'm going to start doing, I'm not going to make content specifically for members. And this is YouTube members, not premium members. But anytime I get a video early from Artem, or if I film one super early, I'm going to make it live for members ahead of time because YouTube basically was like, we're going to be pushing the hell out of this. So that's what we're going to start doing. So if you're a YouTube member, look forward to that. Marcus is saying Fight Pass is trash. And this was after I was talking about my experiences with Fight Pass and the reason that I use the data analyzer instead of going to Fight Pass. And that's because Fight Pass really does suck. It's crazy. You would think. So it has an unbelievable library. An unbelievable library. If I designed Fight Pass and I had a Plex server, if you don't know what Plex is, you basically put a bunch of videos on there and makes it look pretty. If I was designing Fight Pass, I would have all the events as they should be, like UFC 303. Here's the whole event. You could watch the whole thing unedited. Or if you're just searching a specific fighter, Alex Bejeda, you search him, you hit his profile. Here's his profile. Here's every single one of his fights in order, and you can play any of them. That's how it should be. And when I go to watch the Contender series to do tape on somebody that left the Contender series coming to UFC, I search the Contender series. Dude, it's impossible to find the show. It's impossible to find the specific episode. It's crazy. It's ridiculous. It makes no sense. Ultimate Fighter, same issue. It is such a poorly designed site. It's out of control. We do have, Dylan Summers gifted a membership. Thank you for that, Dylan. And then we have a $4.99 super chat. Your new vibes. Don't let the negativity get to you. We got a great program, and I've won more money than ever using your premium tools. WWP are a blessing. I appreciate you. What is funny is I said this in a Discord today. I'm in a weird mood today. Weather's great. I was flying high this morning. I was in a great mood, right? We came off UFC Vegas 97 was great for us. That parlay missed, and that sucked. But overall, it was great for us. I was so happy for Jacob. Then Sunday morning, I wake up early, go out hunting, got a couple of doves, got a freaking pigeon. Those are huge. It was a good day. Weather was nice, but I was exhausted. Then today, I got a full 8 hours of sleep last night, which never happens for me today. Wake up, take the kids to school. It's like 50 degrees out here in Texas in the morning. It was unbelievable. I'm flying high. I'm loving life. I take the dog for a walk. It's like 8 o'clock. I'm chopping it up in some fucking group chat. And I'm in a mood, a good mood. I'm in a great mood. I'm feeling the vibes. And I'm busting balls. And, I'm fucking losing an argument. So I'm spinning and I'm twisting. I'm doubling down. I'm tripling down. I'm just making shit up. But this is a group chat where that happens. And it was, I guess it wasn't being received as I was intending it, right? It's beautiful out and I'm busting dick. Pause. And on the other end, just reading and watching me fucking gaslight you and just make shit up and double down and triple down, they weren't in the same headspace I was with this is just Angelo being a fucking asshole. So then the conversation turned and that just destroyed my mood the rest of the day. Like the rest of the day, I literally am alternating between like, I feel so bad and like frustration. So that's how that went. But what triggered this is you said, don't let the negativity get to you. What is funny is I did see somebody in the Discord take a clip of Jacob picking Gilbert Burns. And he posted it, like trying to clown Jacob. And I think it was playful. Like, I don't think it was a hater. I think it was playful. But I saw that clip and I replied to it and I was like, stuff like this is miserable. Miserable. Like, think about it. And again, I don't know if this is how it was intended, and I don't want to speak for Jacob. He might have saw that and laughed at it. Jacob's much better at letting things go than I am. But like, there are times where, this weekend's a perfect example. I made money. Jacob made money. The picks were good. The bets were good. And there's still always some negative Nancy. There was somebody blasting Jacob on Twitter. Poor Jacob had the best underdog lock of the week this entire year. The only underdog on the card that won. Last one was I bet him as an underdog, but he turned into a favorite. The only underdog that actually won. Jacob picked him, bet on him, put the stamp, put the video together, and put it out for the world. And people still bitched, but not about that. People were trolling him with the Gilbert Burns pick. And then somebody on Twitter was like, your pick sucked. Because Jacob was like, look how great. Look how many profitable events I've had in a row. And people were like, yeah, but your pick sucked. It's like, dude, what? That negativity bothers me more than anything. Dude, if I suck and then you tell me I suck, I'm expecting it. I'm waiting for it. It is what it is. But if we have a good night, an objectively good night, and things go well, and our thousands of premium members make money, and you're still going to come out with the hate and the negativity, that, like, I am not good at just being like, this guy clearly hates his life. That drives me nuts. Like, that drives me absolutely nuts. That is the only negativity that does get to me. The rest of it, you do this long enough, you just stop giving a shit. All right, back to the comments. Bet Slam. Buy premium today is the best value in the space for only a measly $10 a month. You get custom graphics. My fucking man. You absolutely do. You get the data analyzer, line movement tracker. You get Jacob's premium bets. Well, Bet Slam, thank you for that plug. What's the most meatballs you've eaten in a day? I'm sure this is like, oh, Angelo, you're fat, but I'm going to answer this question. I don't know, but my mother's an immigrant. She's not from this country. English is not her first language. And so I've eaten some meatballs in my day. I'm 6'3", 260. It might be a little more than 260. 6'3", 260. I'm a big guy. I've been big forever. My mother would have to make 2 pounds of pasta. It's just me and my brother and my tiny mother and my stepdad. And she would make 2 pounds of pasta because I would just plow that shit. So most amount of meatballs I've eaten in a day, I mean, I'm sure there's been a Sunday dinner where I've had 25, 30. And that's probably a lower number than you were expecting, but it wasn't a meatball eating contest. That was on top of everything else. What I am proud of, there was this place, I grew up in Connecticut, and then as an adult, I still lived in Connecticut, but I moved. I grew up in Newtown. I moved to Bethel. And, at the time, Monroe. And in Monroe, Connecticut, there was this sports bar called Buffalo Bills. And they had 10-cent wing nights. And these were good-sized wings. These weren't the bullshit wings. Good-sized wings, 10-cent wings. So we would go and I would destroy it. And this is like peak Angelo. Like early 20s, training jiu-jitsu, coaching 2 different wrestling teams. Like coaching wrestling till 9 o'clock a night, 5 nights a week. Peak, in shape, great-looking Angelo. And we would go to, I think it was Tuesday or whatever day. I forget what the day of week it was. It was 10-cent wings. And we would go. And I was like, I think I could eat 100. So I ordered 100. Barbecue. You can't do 100 buffalo. I ordered 100 barbecue and I ate them all with the fries. That is my proudest food moment. Another proud food moment is you guys see the Fight Foods vlogs. I invite people over. We watch the fights. I try to cook good food for people. But what I used to do is order food for people. And you can't order it here, but up north, you could order a meatball hero or just a hero in general. A 4-foot sandwich, a 6-foot sandwich. And usually an Italian combo, something like that. They cut it up, whatever. That is oh man, nothing like a hero. Oh God, a party hero. Woo. Either way, my buddy, I don't know if this is true, but he would always be like, you ate 4 feet of that 6-foot hero. 4 feet of it. So that's another very proud moment for me. Let's see. Bet Sam, I'm not going to not put. Buy premium today. You get the DraftKings ownership projections as well as Artem's premium. Hey, listen. Yeah, and Artem does have those trash topology. Artem, stop being such a lazy prick and make your own graphics. I'll send you a template. Make your own graphics, dude. You get your videos out fast. If you make your own graphics, then nobody has shit to say because I clown the topology crew, and you're in that crew, and people love pointing that out. It's lazy. We're better than that at We Want Picks. Is DraftKings available outside of the U.S.? I've seen a couple of internationals comment and say, I'm going to get into DraftKings fantasy. I'm going to get, and I'm curious if it's available in other countries or they just think it might be. My buddy just texted me to donate to his kid's classroom. That's not happening. I just donated to my kid's classroom. Hope all is well. Everything is well. Thank you, Dylan. Does anyone have parlay picks for Contender Series? Well, Artem does. If you're a premium member, in the menu, go to analysis and then click on Artem, and he's got a whole article there. Descent 8, Big Ange, you are the best in the game. No one even comes close. Thank you for all your hard work, brother. Well, Jacob, but thank you so much. I appreciate it. I genuinely think we are quite literally the best in this space. Literally. I mean, if the last 3 months haven't proven that, I have no idea what will. Like I surprised myself. I was like, we have to lose eventually. And it just hasn't been happening. It's insane. Last lock of the week, I had a feeling about that guy. I thank you guys for concurring my feeling. Well, you're welcome. More AIDS. I assume that's AIDS. Little Sebastian. Love that show. Is there a treatment for AIDS? Yeah, it's called being rich. Go ask Magic Johnson. BetSlam. Lion Man. The most obvious pick for tomorrow. Oh, this is a Dana White. I don't watch Contender Series. I could give a shit about it, which is crazy. It's funny how you whoop Jacob's ass literally, and it got him quiet for a few weeks, but he's back full send. Could be time to reaffirm your male dominance. What was funny, I mean, that was all in good fun. What was funny is I said, I was like, I hope this doesn't, like, first of all, let's keep it light. This is not a real fist fight with animosity. Let's keep this light. And then I was like, I hope this doesn't change our dynamic. Dude, the reason we're successful is our dynamic. Like, listen, we have our ups and downs. Like, you know, there's been streams where the energy was off, or I was in a mood, or he was in a mood. And that happens in our personal lives as well. Like, we're fucking best friends. He's basically my brother, honestly. It's been over 10 years, too. He's basically my brother. So you have it out. You're going to get into some dumbass arguments. Somebody's going to cross a line. Like, that's just what's going to happen. It is our chemistry why this show is so successful. Without our chemistry, without the real life friend, you can't manufacture that bullshit. Like, his personality is genuine. Mine is genuine. Maybe we exaggerate our own personalities a tiny bit, but the chemistry together. If I did this by myself, it wouldn't be as successful. He did it by himself, it wouldn't be as successful. It's our chemistry together that makes this what it is. And I was worried going into that fight. I was like, this might mess up the chemistry. Like, your whole thing is, I'm going to smack the shit out of you, blah, blah, blah. I was like, this might, and luckily it didn't. It changed nothing, which is, I mean, you know, when you have a real friend, that's just how it's, dude, we've had some fucking issues. And it always works itself out. And I was worried the fight, my number one fear was this is going to fuck up the chemistry. And it didn't. Then my fear was, oh my God, what if he has success? Like, dude, like, I'm going to go out there. At that point, I hadn't done anything in like a year. Nothing. No training, nothing. That was the fattest. That video of me fighting Jacob is the fattest I've been in years. And I was like, oh my God, he might have success. Like, he's in fucking shape. He's very athletic. Like, he's more athletic than I am, or at least more coordinated than I am. And I was like, he might have some success here. And luckily, literally the real success I had there was I just pumped that jab, just pop, 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 and just kept it out there over and over and over. But I was worried it was going to mess up the chemistry, and it didn't. And yes, he did snap back into his old ways rather quickly. I'm losing brain cells trying to navigate the Pancreas website. Dude, Pancreas still exists? Are we talking about Pancreas from like the 90s? The fight organization that Boss Rutan came from? Is that what you're talking about? Let's see. AIDS sucks. You know what's fun here? I mean, some of you guys may know this, but I was on Josh Thompson. He's a former professional fighter, was one of the best on planet Earth for a very long time. The only person to finish Nate Diaz or to TKO Nate Diaz. Like, a very accomplished guy. He's got his own podcast with Big John McCarthy, the original UFC referee. They have like 123,000 subscribers. I know Josh in real life. We live in the same town. Our kids went to school together. Like, I know him in real life. He comes to the house. I literally edited him out of the vlog because I didn't want to throw him in the vlog. So I edited him out of the last vlog because I didn't want it to be like, oh, come to my house just so I can fucking film you, make content out of it. Anyway, where I'm going with this is, you commented AIDS. Everybody in the live chat's commenting AIDS. On the Saturday after UFC, whatever it was, the Saturday after, no, it was UFC, whatever the hell, okay? He sent me a text and was like, I'm going to go live for a couple of fights if you want to hop on. And I said, oh, it was the Umar versus Corey Sandhagen event. It was UFC Saudi Arabia or Abu Dhabi, whatever it was. He's like, I'm going to go live if you want to join me. So I said, yeah, I'll join you. I literally was competing heads up with Jacob, but I was like, Jacob's got 1,000 people watching his. I'll hop on this. It'll be a great way to further this relationship. This is the very first time we'll be going from friends to like work. So like, all right, let me hop on. I hop on. One comment, oh shit, it's Big Ange. Awesome. All right, nice. People recognize me on his show. Awesome. Then I hear his producer. He's got a producer. We don't. And his producer goes, we have an interesting comment here. And it was just literally, hey, Angelo, hope the AIDS are getting better. So then I'm live on somebody else's channel with 123,000 subscribers explaining why somebody is talking about me having AIDS. So yeah, the AIDS thing is getting a little crazy. I did a whole PSA after that. Looks like Zay got the YouTube membership. We got a couple more super chats. $1.99. Do you like smaller meatballs or bigger meatballs? Listen, these are troll comments, but you paid for it, so I'm going to answer it. I like full-sized, normal Italian with the 3 meats meatballs. It's got to be ground pork, ground veal, and ground beef. The 3 of those together, perfect meatball. The little bullshit, no thank you. Angelo, minus 3,000, AIDS plus 1,300. I'll take it. I'm gonna beat the AIDS the same way Isaac Dolgarian beat Brendan Moreau. I'm gonna do it. It's not gonna be as fast as it should be. I'm gonna be very dominant, but it's not gonna be what you expect it to be, but I'm still gonna win. That's how I'm gonna do it. And Jort Creamer, I'm pausing, saying that in my head 10 times. Like, did I say something offensive? With the 279 Canadian, thank you, Jort Creamer. No, didn't say anything offensive. Guys, I've also learned to read those before I pin them, thanks to you all. And then I learned a very valuable lesson about the image as well. Let's see. We're just checking live chat here. If you guys want to hop on the show, you can. I totally get it. I'm competing against friggin' football right now. That's what sucks. Contender Series messes everything up. Tuesday nights is a perfect night to break down fights, but when Contender Series is here, it literally screws everything up. You guys deserve a day off. There's no such thing, Crans. Literally, there's no such thing. I've got my moments where I literally, like today was actually a day where I was like, honestly, fuck this shit, dude. This shit isn't worth it anymore. And then I got over it. But what ends up happening is you get obsessed with the success. I am obsessed with the growth. Obsessed with it. Obsessed with it. And everything's growing. The views are going up. The subscriber count is going up. The premium membership I'm obsessed with the growth. So anything, like I'm just hyper focused on like, we got to be better. And I look at other people who are better than us and I obsess over that. Not better like at what we do, but bigger. How the hell do they have so many subscribers? They have more than us. How? And I dive into that. What is crazy, though, is our views are nuts. We do better views than channels that have over 100,000. Like, there are people with 60,000 subscribers, and we dwarf their views. They do 120,000 views. We do 400,000 views in a month. We dwarf their views. So watching that and beating the piss out of everybody, you get obsessed with it. So there's no such thing as a day off. None. And there's days where I dread the shit out of it. Like, I just really don't want to do this. But a Sunday video's got to come out on Sunday. A Tuesday live stream has to come out on a Tuesday. The last couple of weeks have been wonky because I've been traveling, like for my real job. But you get obsessed with it. So no such thing as a day off. Certainly a week off is kind of nice because we don't have the vigorous schedule, but no such thing as a day off. I appreciate you. Can't believe you said Dylan Budka could win. All right, listen, Haunter. Here, you remember when I said before, you can have a wildly successful night and there will still be random negativity? Here it is. Haunter is a name I recognize. Dude is negative 100% of the time. I've never seen him comment something positive. And this is a perfect example. How did UFC Vegas 79 go for me? Well, let me tell you. Or 97. Let me tell you. I went 10-2 on picks. I was up, 45% ROI or some shit. Up money. I picked Andre Petrosky. Andre Petrosky was in the safety parlay. But here's this dude with some negative bullshit comment for no reason. This is internet life. Hunter must be very happy in his personal life. And yeah, I did say he could win because Andre Petrosky knocked himself out shooting a takedown. And turns out during the stream, they were talking on and on and on about Dylan Budka being an Olympic hopeful. $13.99 from Canadian from Jort Creamer. Sup, Angelo? I tried to get the $50 bonus by signing up using your link, but can't download any of those affiliates because they're not available in Canada. Is there any other way? By the way, I love you and Jacob. Hey, Bet Online, I'm 1,000% sure is available in Canada. I've never been more sure of anything in my entire life. It's online. They don't have apps. So here's how the sportsbook world is right now. There are officially licensed, registered sportsbooks. That's the DraftKings Fantasy, MGM, FanDuel. These are officially licensed, like they literally have a license to operate with the government in specific states. They're not available everywhere because not every state in America, not every country, not every region allows sports betting or gambling in general. Then there's the offshore sports books, Bet Online, Bet US, MyBookie. The offshore sports books operate all over the world. Every country has their own laws, but here in America, and I believe Canada, I'm not a legal expert. Don't take this for what it is. Canada, America, and a few other countries allow you to bet offshore. If you go on a cruise ship, for example, cruise ships have casinos, so you can gamble. And this is very similar. It's a similar operation with the offshore sports books. The offshore sports books allow you to gamble because you're doing it offshore. They are based in another country. So that's how Bet Online, I get it all the time. Hey, I also live in Texas. How are you gambling? We use Bet Online. It is legal. You are allowed to do it. But because they're not regulated with the government sports book, you have to deposit. You can deposit with a credit card, but you have to withdraw a little differently. So it does have their own nuances. But you asked how you can get that bonus, and I'm telling you, Bet Online should work for you. Okay, back to the comments. I was trolling. I think you're supposed to say I wasn't trolling. So I was wondering. I don't like the small meatballs. I like the big ones, and I like them fried in the pan. There's two schools of thought with meatballs. There are people who take the raw meatball and just dump it in the sauce and let the sauce cook it, and it's there for hours. Or people who do it in the frying pan and fry them and then put them in the sauce. I like that way much, much better. I don't want them soggy and soft. Here's that miserable fuck shit loser who's going to get banned because I work too hard to see this fuck shit loser negativity, honestly. Like, fuck off. Why are you here? Your life seems miserable. Let's see. I'm not going to pin that comment. Anyone going to the Sphere? I am curious if anyone's going to the Sphere. Here's the reality. Jacob and I went to UFC 303. It was wildly successful. It was meaning like betting wise, pick wise, but also like fun. We had a really good time. He bought the tickets. Luckily he got half his money back because Conor McGregor dropped, but we had a very, very good time. It was an awesome weekend. Very memorable. We had a ton of fun. We met a bunch of people. We met so many premium members came up to us. Even non-premium members came up to us, said hi, yelled my name, Angelo, Jake, came up, did all the things. It was awesome. So we were coming off that high. And it was literally awesome. And then they announced the Sphere ticket prices. And we're like, Jacob and I were like, let's go to the Sphere. Let's do it. And then we looked at the ticket price. We were going to do VIP because that's what we did last time. And VIP is awesome. And it was like 10 grand each. It was more money than when it was originally Conor McGregor at UFC 303. And we're like, no. I was like, I can't spend that. We got kids and I can't be like, hey, Tiffany, I'm going to go spend 10 grand just on the tickets for the event, let alone the hotel and the flights, just so that, so I just couldn't justify it. I couldn't do it. And now ticket prices are in half. I don't know if the VIP prices went down, but like all of a sudden you can get good tickets at the Sphere for $1,000, $2,000. And there was a part of me today where I was like, you know what? Let me do something nice for Jacob. Let me see what Sphere tickets, and maybe we can just go, just an impromptu trip this weekend. And I didn't do it because, again, I got wife, I got kids, and I feel bad because I let him down because he's going to UFC Vegas 100. And he's been messaging me for a few weeks. Hey, do you want to go to do you want to go to an Apex card this year? And I was like, yes. And he was like, we should go to Tampa for this fight night. Then we can go. And I was procrastinating, and I got the kids. I've been traveling like crazy for work, and my wife has so I was like, man, he's like, let me know if you're going to go. If you're not going to go, I'm going to take this other person. And I was like, just take the other person. I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. And, and then literally right before that, I get a text from Tiffany being like, October's tough at work. You can't travel. So I screenshot, I sent it to him. I was like, dude, this is what I'm up against. Like, there's just life is just too busy with these damn kids. And I know I'm going to regret it. He's going to go. He's going to have the absolute time of his life. I'm going to see the video, and I'm going to be like, shit, I wish I would have gone. But unfortunately, that's just the reality of it. I got to make do with what I got going on here. What I got going on is a beautiful family, so I'm not trying to make it sound like, do you miss Jacob now that he moved to Brazil with all the mamacitas? Listen, you guys probably picked this up on the vlog and all the neighbor stories. I'm a big friend guy. I just want to be surrounded by my people all the time, always. That's why, how many times has Jacob said, I think I'm going to stream this pay-per-view. And I'm like, no, dude, come over. Fuck the stream. Dude, fuck the stream. Come over and hang out. I don't care about the fucking views. Come hang out. And that's 100% how I am. So if he moved and I wouldn't be able to see him anymore, I'd miss the absolute fuck out of him. I miss him now when he just will skip a pay-per-view, like a midday pay-per-view, and he'll just stream instead of coming over. I'm a big hangout with I'm a bro. I'm a big hangout with the friends kind of guy. That's all I ever want to do is hang out with the friends. Ever. Like literally. The happiest I ever am is just like with people doing things. Every time Petrosky and Budka were throwing hands, I was like, dude, I was sitting in this chair. Actually, you can't really tell. Here's a time that I'll use the fucking stupid camera pan bullshit. I was sitting in this chair watching the fights. Here we go. And I was getting so frustrated watching him strike, so nervous that I was like, let me build this freaking Young LA hat wall. Young LA, huge supporters of the show. Thank you, Young LA. You can go support them. They're a ridiculous clothing company with way better looking people than me. Sent a bunch of clothes and a bunch of hats. So I was building a hat wall. I was getting so frustrated watching Andre Petrosky strike like an idiot with that chin that I was like, I can't watch. I can't watch. So I was listening and building that hat wall. It was very nerve-wracking. $1.99 from Sleuth. You live in Texas, so you have to use offshore book. Correct. I use Bet Online. You could use Bet Openly. Bet Openly is not a sports book. It is peer-to-peer. You're going to get better odds, which is why you use it. It's not a guarantee that somebody will take your bet, though, because it's you versus a human being. So you put up a bet, another human being has to take it. But you can take another person. So you can just find bets that are already there and grab the other side. So you can do that any state you live in. I think it's literally every state, maybe not one. Their website will tell you. And that works like a sports. They'll do payouts in PayPal, like normal payouts. You don't have to do crypto or anything like that. What's the worst betting app? I'll tell you. I don't know about app because I've never lived in a state where sports betting was 100% legal like it is in Connecticut now, but I left Connecticut before it was. I can't stand Bovada. Can't stand him. We used to have an affiliate deal with Bovada, and I axed it because of the experience I had as a bet. I got to sneeze. Oh, boy. Very feminine sneeze. Oh, boy. Very feminine sneeze. If you're going to clip that, you're going to clip it. I had poor experiences using Bovada. I was like, these people suck. Like, this sucks. So I axed them as an affiliate partner. So right now, our affiliate partners are Bet Online and Sports Betting, which is the exact same company, Bet US, and MyBookie. And Bet Openly, but Bet Openly is not a sports book, so I don't put them in that category. But Bet Online has by far the best prop bets, period. They have the earliest lines, period. You get limited with your parlay options. You can't parlay the props. You can parlay round props, but not the other ones, which kind of sucks. But everything else makes BetOnline, to me, the best place for UFC sports betting. BetUS has the best customer service and all the flexibility. Sometimes their lines are a little later, but you can parlay anything you want. No issues. You can get a live agent that speaks like English as a first language anytime you want, whether it's live chat or on the phone. Like you log in, boom, here's the phone number. Call if you have a question or an issue. So I love BetUS for that reason. And then MyBookie is a perfect hybrid. They have the lines are well timed. You can parlay basically anything you want. You can do like it's a very good normal sports book. The worst, Bovada, but that's just from my experience. This VPN question, it's not worth messing around with VPNs because if they find out you have a VPN, you're screwed. You're screwed. You're permanently banned. Like, it's not worth, like, if you accidentally, because I use a VPN, for work and for some other things. And when I'm traveling, and let's say I'm in a hotel in New York and I'm trying to do the Prize Picks video, but Prize Picks over there is limited. You don't have every option. So I will VPN to Dallas and try to make it work, and they'll spot it and it'll be an issue, and then you get permanently banned. If you do it with DraftKings, banned. And I promise you, they have the technology to know if you're using a VPN or not. Usually they'll warn you. Usually they'll say, you have a VPN on, turn it off. Because I have that happen to me at the airport. That literally happened to me at the airport. I was at the airport using Underdog Fantasy this past week. I was going to Nashville. I landed. I was in Nashville airport. I sat down. I had some time before my meeting. I opened it up and I said, let me do the Underdog picks right now while I can. And it said, you're on a VPN. So they knew, and they'll ban you. So I personally wouldn't mess with it. BetOnline works in Canada. Only issues I ever heard is when Ontario, since they have different regulations. Yeah, I mean, obviously every place has their own rule set. Cortland Holmes. How are you? I'm good. You build homes? Oh, homes with an L. I'm doing well. Let's go. Do you feel your previous cornering experience helps you picking fights? Yeah, of course I do. Obviously, I don't pick it 100%. Nobody does. But absolutely. Dude, so I've, by no means was I like, cornering world champions. But I've cornered in the UFC. I've cornered UFC fighters. I've cornered regional shows. I've been around it, whether I was in the corner or not. So like, you get in the locker room, like the energy you get to feel in locker rooms is crazy. Because you can just, dude, if you're in a shared locker room environment, like if you're big enough on the card, you'll get your own room. If you're not, you're usually sharing a locker room. And there ends up being like camaraderie in the locker room. You start rooting for each other. You don't know these fucking people. They might go to a gym that your gym hates, but you're in the same locker room and you're rooting for each other. And so you can feel the energy. The first guy comes back, got his ass kicked. And it's like, oh, that's not good. And it like snowballs. And so like that energy, you just absorb it. You see what people are doing. You see how they warm up, what's successful, what's not successful. Same with cornering. There's just energy. You're sitting in the corner. I have cornered people and I've seen them sit. I've never been the lead corner. Like I've never been the guy in the corner. There's always a head. I've been in many corners. I've never been the head corner. Actually, that's not a true statement at all. When I went to Turkey and I brought 3 or 4 of my fighters with me to Turkey to fight for the XFC, that was one of the best experiences of my life. I was the lead corner because it was just me. There was no coach. It was me. So there I was the lead corner. But at Bellator, at UFC, I was not the lead corner at those events. Their coach is the lead corner. I was a manager, not a coach. So their coach is the lead corner. So as not the lead corner, I get to see what they're saying. And like, it's always interesting to see who's lying to their people about, oh, you're up, versus, dude, you got to go out there and get the finish. But anyway, your question was a general question. You feel my previous corner experience helped me picking fights? I think it does, because I'll go watch the tape. I'll see their energy. I'll see just their general, how they are. And it's like, dude, there's fighters you can just see and you're like, this guy's got some quit in him. He's got some quit in him. And there's times where I'm wrong. I thought Rong Zhu was going to win that fight. I've never been, that was bad wrong. I only got 2 fights wrong, but that was wrong. So I don't pick it 100%, but I do think all of that helps me. I was at UFC 303. Thanks for saying hi, dipshit. I was at UFC 303. I was going to go to the Sphere, but it was cheaper to just go to Mexico for a week, so I'll be doing that instead. Again, thanks for saying hi, dipshit. Angela, what's up with having to update my details to access We Want Picks? I'm not going to air your personal laundry. Oh, well, here you go. Your payment likely failed or something happened, and that's not, literally could be for any reason whatsoever. When you update, the number one email I get on Saturdays are people who haven't logged in the premium all week or haven't logged in weeks or maybe even months, and they try to log in and it says, hey, you have to update your payment. And it says that for a number of reasons. Either the payment failed or your membership lapsed or whatever. The number one email I get is, I've updated my payment and I still can't, it didn't do anything. When you update your credit card, it doesn't process it instantly. It waits because you're just updating your credit card. So in order to get it to process instantly and restore access and make sure that it goes through, you have to cancel and then sign back up with the credit card. Dude, I recommend PayPal. Use PayPal. I have credit card turned on because that's a popular. Use PayPal. There are never issues with PayPal. Ever, ever, ever. The problem is when you use your credit card, there's like 10 different things happening. You enter your credit card details. That goes to a company that is a gateway from my website. So it takes that information securely, privately, all the government regulations. It takes that. Then it sends it to the credit card processor. That processor reaches out to your bank and says, is this person poor or do they have $10? They say, no, they got the money. Credit card processor processes it, takes the money, sends it back through the gateway, and then tells my website, this person paid, they have access. PayPal, it's all instant. Boom, PayPal did all the work already. So you just hit the button, boom, it's done. I recommend using PayPal. We have credit cards an option, obviously, but you're saying you've updated your card. It didn't process. It will. It's just not going to do it right then and there. What do you think of UFC Edmonton? I live in Canada. I'm thinking about going. I just hope they don't Listen, UFC shits on regional fans. They hate regional fans. They hate them. They shit on them. They take advantage of you. All right, they don't hate you. They don't respect you. They take advantage of you. They put together trash cards. And they know that you'll show up because they don't come there often enough for you to not show up. So I don't know what ticket prices are going to be. But I will say, if you are a diehard UFC fan and you haven't been to an event, or you have and you love it and you want to go, then go. It just is what it is. It's not going to be a great card. They're going to expect it to sell out, even though they didn't put together a great card. And that's because they just know. We don't come here often. When we do, they'll show up. They do it with every region. Every region. They treat you guys like shit. The Americans are the only ones that have it right with the pay-per-view time. And Vegas is the king of, there's just the fight capital of the world. The only reason those Middle Eastern cards are in the middle of the day, and UFC London or UFC 30, was that 5? Whatever the hell it was. Whatever it was when they fought till 6 in the morning, 304. I'm forgetting now. When that event happened, the only reason, and you guys had to fight till 6 in the morning, that the UFC doesn't give a shit about you. You care about us, the Americans, and the pay-per-view money. And the only reason that UFC 308, for example, is going to be smack in the middle of the day is because the government pays the bill. They pay the UFC an enormous amount of money for that event. Saudi Arabia, Abu Dhabi, they pay for the event. So the UFC is not as reliant on the pay-per-view money. You asked if you should go. It's not going to be a great card. They don't respect you. But if you want to go, go. I would go. If it was near me, if there was an event in Dallas, no matter how shitty it was or how disrespectful they are, I would go. So you should go. Dana White wild in with these prices. Casual UFC can't offend the attendant anymore. I know I said that backwards. Yeah, I mean, listen, it's supply and demand. There are two different operating models. There is the model that UFC is operating under right now is what's the most amount of money we can get for this, period. That's the operating model that the UFC has right now. What is the most amount of money we can get for these tickets? And it's been working. The Sphere is the only card that people can point to as being a failure. But there are multiple factors. 1, wildly expensive. 2, not a great card. 3, they're competing against Canelo Alvarez. And 4, they made it all about Mexico, which is great. It's on Mexican Independence Day. I get all that. But if you're charging the worst seat was $3,000, the worst seat was $3,000 on a card targeted towards Mexicans when the biggest Mexican combat sports athlete on planet Earth is fighting around the corner for less. That's tricky. But people like to say, oh, UFC Sphere is a failure. It's not a failure. If they don't sell out, then the local ticket sales you could call a failure. The pay-per-views will sell. The people are buying the pay-per-views. The pay-per-views will do well. It's just the ticket sales. So I agree. The UFC is going crazy with these ticket prices. They are outrageous. But I went to UFC 303, and those prices were outrageous. Jacob paid that. And people were still there. And it was full as shit. And there were lines for the weigh-ins. And there were lines for the press conference. Like, it was full as shit. So they're getting their money. When people stop showing up, they'll lower the prices. It's that simple. The other operating model is what we do. What I'm not even going to attempt to say his name or where he's from because I want to be wrong and then racist. That leader in the Middle East said he wants all pay-per-view boxing events to be $20, and that will combat piracy. I agree with him. If it was $20, what are you going to use your stupid ass fucking IPTV stream that might give out? No, you're going to pay the $20. It's $20. Who gives a shit? So there's that operating model. And I agree with that model. That's how we operate. We're freaking $10 a month. We Want Picks is $10 a month. That was a conscious decision. And I think it was website Josh who said it. I think we were bouncing, like, what could we charge, whatever. And I think I was like, what if we keep it low? Or maybe he said, I forget whose idea it was originally. But then he was like, I like the idea of just being the best value. And that's what we stuck with forever. And if boxing follows suit or UFC follows suit and it's $20 a month, dude, if UFC drops to $20 a month, I would assume that they would make more money. But again, you'll then need 4 pay-per-views to every one. It's $80 right now. If it goes to 20, you'll need 4 times the amount of pay-per-views to cover that. So there is that operating model. There's that dude on Twitter. I'm not going to say names because he's terrible. There's that dude on Twitter who sells his premium for $100 a month. So he only needs 1 member for my 10. So different models. You either try to get as much money as you want or you try to get as many people as you want. I just had a couple of people call into the show and then drop with no camera on. Okay. We're just hanging out. This is a very casual show. Let's keep going. Dana White Wilden. We hit that already. Let's see. Bet Slam 349 New Zealand. Angelo is the biggest workhorse in this space. I appreciate that. There's 2 schools of thought there. It's either me because of the just consistency. I'm never going to miss a video. It's just not going to happen. Or Jacob, who will do, well, let me stick with my channel. Or Jacob, who will do a 7-hour live stream on a Saturday. Like here's a full schedule. If Jacob does a full schedule, like if I'm not traveling and all the stars align, a full schedule for me we'll start on a Sunday. A Sunday morning quick picks video. Nothing on Monday. A Tuesday night live stream. Nothing on Wednesday. A Thursday 2 prop videos. A Friday betting video and DraftKings video. A Saturday night recap video. That's a full slate for me. A full slate for Jacob is we'll start on Sunday, nothing. Monday, hopefully a quick picks. Tuesday, a full live stream. Wednesday, drops lock of the week. Nothing Thursday, nothing Friday. 7-hour live stream Saturday. So it's the 2 of us, when we are on schedule, it's the amount of time we put into this is absolutely crazy. But again, you get obsessed with the growth and it's growing. So we appreciate all of you. Let's go. Keep bragging about your family. I don't get it. Because I love my family? What the fuck's that about? Fucking weirdo. Let's see. Bet Slam is trying to recruit We Want Picks audience and eventually get hired by Angelo. You ain't slick, bro. Oh, listen. He's a supporter. Oh, it's a fine line, Bet Slam. No, Bet Slam's a supporter. He's going to do his own content stuff. That's fine. If he tries to poach, then burn it to the ground. Let's see. We do have a caller, Philip.
What's
How
up?
are you? Welcome to the show. You just been watching me talk to myself, competing with football, and you said,
Dude, I can't figure out how to I can't figure out how to set up my mic and
You're on. I hear you. No, you're good. I see you. I hear you.
Okay. Perfect.
What's going on?
I think last week not much. Last week I was trying to catch up on the live, and then I joined the meeting right when you were leaving, and you're like, "We're out." We had a really good, Vegas night, and I was just listening to the calling show, and there was a section where you were saying that people are just like negative.
Oh yeah, that's the world.
And I crushed it, just like you guys did. I crushed it, and I pasted some of the snip on our premium lounge, and somebody's like, "What about the safety parlay?" It's like,
oh, no, that's the reality. That's the reality of it.
I said, safety parlay is not premium. Everything else is. The website is. And then
safety parlay is premium.
Oh, it is?
It is premium, but the point is that somebody will always find the one thing you did wrong. That's just how that's good. That's just, but the balance is always remembering that the silent majority exists, because there is a silent majority. The 90% of people love and support what you do. It's the loud 10% of weird crybaby losers. But yeah, I mean, that's just the internet. That's just how that goes.
I can't wait for this upcoming Saturday. I do think that Alexa Grasso is gonna, snatch a dub, like a win for sure.
I think the gap is widening as far as their speed, athleticism, all that stuff. Alexa's getting better and better. And then I think the whole, because Valentina's only path to win against Alexa has proven to be wrestling. That's the only path.
Yeah.
And Alexa's got her own takedown last fight, defended takedowns last fight. So I think Alexa's definitely winning that fight.
I was watching, what's it called? Tough, the Ultimate Fighting, the show. And dude, Grasso is like so cute. She's so good looking, like sexy Latina. But then you look at her arm.
I didn't think Jacob was on this show. I guess he is.
You look at her arm and it's like, damn, she got bigger arms than me.
She's a professional fighter. What the hell did you expect? What did you expect?
No, it was good. But I think that she's gonna snatch one this time for sure. I think last time was a little crazy. The 8-10 was crazy for sure. Hopefully that kind of shit doesn't happen again. Hopefully there's a clear winner.
It should be. I mean, this has to be the end. Last time that 10-8 was bullshit. I'm almost glad that the 10-8 round happened to force the draw, because I mean, we would have ended up in the same situation anyway with a third fight. But I do think it's better for the sport if Alexa Grasso wins, the torch has been passed, and we move on. Like Valentina, she was the greatest champion ever in that weight class. But like, we gotta move on.
Right. I was surprised that in her early days she lost to Amanda Nunes when they fought.
Yeah, but Amanda Nunes is the best ever. One of those fights was very, very close. She lost to her twice. One of those fights was very, very close. But I mean, Amanda Nunes is the best to ever do it. Better than Ronda Rousey.
Who is gonna be the next one that's gonna be challenging 125 female division? Like, who's out there? I mean, we're talking about, what's her name? The one that won the fight.
Let's see. Let me pull up the rankings. 125-pound ladies. That's flyweight. Mm-hmm. We have Valentina. Wait, that's flyweight, right? Yeah. Yeah, flyweight 125. We have Valentina. Manon Farrow is going to be a problem for a lot of people, including Alexa Grasso. A lot. Actually, it's either Manon or Rose are the next two people that are going to be a problem.
Oh, sure. Rose. Okay.
Right,
Yeah.
but Manning for sure. She hits like a freight train. Phenomenal striker, good takedown defense. Manning could be the next champ.
Oh, sorry. So there are 135 division.
135 is Raquel Pennington. That's
Okay.
bantamweight.
Yep.
125 is Alexa Grasso.
I think I don't know. That was the first UFC that I joined as a premium.
Which one?
Where that was the fight between Strickland and DDP. That was the first UFC.
Oh, it was like 2 months ago. Yeah. A couple. No, more than that. 6 months ago.
That was more than that. Was back.
Yeah.
That was back in January. That was the first time I joined premium.
Yep.
I know. And you guys, Jacob Lock of the Week is.
It was DDP.
The one. No, that card, Jacob Lock of the Week, is the one that fought against Brett Katona, Garrett Armfield.
Oh, okay. All right. That was the last fight Garrett Armfield won.
Yeah. And prior to that, I wasn't premium, so I wasn't like seeing all the Discord and all that stuff. And every other channel, every other like betting space picked Brett Katona. I think you picked Brett Katona too. Anyway. And then for the main event, everybody else, I think most people pick.
Jacob and I were both on DDP that one, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's funny to see the trends happen because I don't have the luxury. My videos go out on Sundays, and my notes. I mean, you guys know I read notes. Did you know I read notes when I do my videos?
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Is it obvious?
Pretty obvious.
Oh, okay. What the fuck? Pretty obvious. Jesus. But I write that all out way ahead of time. So I don't have the luxury. I never have anybody else to reference. It's literally just me. I don't have the luxury of anybody else to see their video, see their pick. It's just me. So it is funny when I do my breakdowns, I'll do my video, and then days later, all the other ones start coming out to see what trends have emerged. Because lots of times it's not with me, and I'm like, uh-oh. And that was definitely a week where, and I think I picked Brad because my whole thing was Garrett Armfield's too focused on trying to be famous on Twitter than he is on fighting. And obviously you end up wrong.
Yeah, I think Jacob crushed that one. I picked Brad Katona too because I watched him fought through the Ultimate. Fought through the Ultimate Fighter, so I was very impressed with him. But I'm like, but what I was gonna say is the co-main event, which is the fight between the ladies, the current champion.
What division are we talking about?
Raquel Pennington.
Oh, okay. That was the co-main?
Yeah.
Okay. Got
it.
Yes.
Raquel Pennington versus the Brazilian chick.
Yeah. Was it Mayra Bueno Silva?
Yes.
Yeah.
And obviously everybody picked Silva. And then I think you picked.
Oh, I had Rocky. Yeah, I had Rocky.
You have a breakdown on Rocky. I was like, damn. And I look at the Silva highlights. I'm like, damn, she is crazy. And then you know what? I pay premium for a reason. Let's just go with it. And then you can see the next day, everybody, all the like Twitter space that you guys start saying right now. Twitter space is just like dead, and all the parlays are busted. And I was kind of shocked. If I were betting on Silva, I would be pissed because she didn't do anything.
But that's what Raquel Pennington does. She makes every fight she's in boring as shit. Because she'll just move forward, lean on you, just makes every fight insanely boring. And then you're hesitant to throw because somebody's just walking towards you slowly. So it's a whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of didn't do anything, I've been trying to like reach out to you guys and talk about Carl Williams 2 fights ago.
Apparently, he was told not to wrestle. Apparently.
That's crazy.
I was going to do... I got this whole stupid fancy board thing. If you're in the Discord, I posted a video. Yeah. I'm going to start doing, I don't want to say hot takes because that's fucking dumb, but I'm going to start to do just like 5 to 10 minute opinion videos. Like one topic, my opinion. My first one was going to be, is the UFC telling fighters not to wrestle? And what does that actually mean? Carl Williams, after his fight, somebody from his fight camp said, we were told not to wrestle. Same thing happened to Chelsea Chandler. Somebody from her fight camp said we were told not to wrestle. Muhammad Makayev said I was told not to wrestle. So now you have all these dominant wrestlers who don't do what they're supposed to do because the UFC is telling them not to. So that's what happened with the Carl Williams fight. Like all of a guy that was told not to use, apparently, like, I don't know, was told not to use his best skill. It's crazy.
Hopefully Marab.
Well, and honestly, like the video wouldn't make sense for me to film right now because Andre Petroski was wrestling and boring as shit. Andre Petroski is the reason the UFC tells people not to wrestle. It's just nonstop and boring. Marab will wrestle. Like there's people who will do it literally no matter what. I think it's these mid-tier guys that have no leverage and they're just being told, don't do it. They're like, okay, whatever you say, boss. I think it's those ones that, like Chelsea Chandler, please don't cut me. I won't wrestle, you know?
I actually didn't watch the fight between Donata Denise versus Carl Williams, but when I listened to the breakdown, I was like, Carl Williams going to be wrestling. So I was like, okay, got it. He's going to wrestle. And then I didn't watch the fight, but I was watching the scorecards on ESPN app. I usually do that when I get
the takedown attempt number not go up. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I'm like, sometimes you can't watch while you're busy with kids and work, whatever. I actually watch the scorecards even when I'm watching the fight, just to see like what are the significant strikes, that are happening as we watch the fight. But going back to the scorecard, I was like, why is the takedown not happening? Like, where are they at? And I was like, God damn it! And then I sign into like ESPN app real quick, and then I watch the fight, and they're just getting pieced up by Donata Denise, and it was crazy.
No, it's Jacob says it all the time. I can't fight for these people, and it's like, listen, if and then I gotta let you go after this because I see a couple other people called in. You started I was sitting here for an hour by myself with my thumb up my ass. Nobody calls in. You call in. Everybody's calling in. So thank you for that. But if a fighter goes out there and does what they're supposed to do and loses, I can't be mad at that. I can't be mad at that. Like I was jokingly pissed at Isaac Dulgarian for not finishing in under 1.5, right? I was like, loser, this guy sucks. He went out there. He was trying to finish this dude. And it just didn't happen. I can't get mad at that. I can get mad at people who don't do what they're supposed to do and don't even try. You are an accomplished wrestler. Why the hell? He didn't shoot a takedown until the late part of the third round when he was almost unconscious. And then he got the takedown, and it was the most dominant thing I've ever seen. So I was like, what the hell? Yeah. Like, if you did that just 2 other times, you would have won this fight. So it's frustrating. And maybe it's something we have to keep an eye on. Like obviously Andre Petroski wrestled, but maybe it's something where we get these mid-level guys that their only way to win is if they wrestle. Maybe we start fading them because we can't trust them to wrestle. Who knows?
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for having me.
Well, hey, I appreciate you calling in and saving me from myself. All right. See ya. Thanks for hopping on.
Yeah.
Bye. Gucci, I'll get to you in 1 second here. We got a bunch of super chats. Let me hit those. David Rios, four fighter parlay for 306. Go. Okay. You paid for it, so I got to do it. Let me pull up the fight card. I'm not going to give out the safety parlay by accident, so don't plan on that. I'm very honestly, I don't have this. This is not a bet I currently have, but you're asking me to do a 4-fight parlay. Alexa Grasso, Diego Lopes, don't throw Norma Dumont in a parlay, but I do think she wins. Alexa Grasso, Diego Lopez, Yazmin, Raul. That's it. That would be my 4-fight parlay. Honestly, I'm already exposed to those fighters in different capacities, but I might place that. Throw a couple bucks on it. Johnny Albo, $10 super chat. I'm a premium member. How do I ask questions without having to pay money every time? It says go on Discord, the website. I'm on both. I don't see where I can ask questions on the stream. Listen, right now we're live on YouTube. If you're in the YouTube live chat, you can ask a question there. If you want to hop on the screen like we just saw, or like I'm about to do with Gucci, if you go to the Discord, click on Premium Alerts, and then in that channel on the Discord, there's a link to join the stream. Or if you're not in the Discord, go to the website, log into the website, click on my account, and there's a button, a red button up top that says join live stream. That's how you can do it. Thank you for the 10 spot. If you want to hop on, I'll be here for a few more minutes. And then we have a $3 it's not Australian. I think that's a US. From AJ, Oil is We Want Picks Premium. Oi, not oil. Oi. It's premium available in Australia. Oh, so I guess that's what the A is. Yes, it is. Artem brings in all the New Zealanders and the Australians. Yes, it is. It's so premium. We're not a sports book. We're not betting. We're not doing it. It is available everywhere in the world. We're just a website that offers information, tools, insight, and stuff like that. So yes, 100% available in Australia, and we have members from all over the world. The largest concentration is probably the US, but we have members everywhere. I think that gets us caught up. Gucci, what are you, hunting frogs? What the hell are you doing?
Just walking around the block.
Oh, great.
My kids are
no
wild.
Signal. Oh, there we go.
Oh, you don't got me?
You're cutting out a little bit, but I can hear you. And he's gone, of course.
I'm just walking around the block. Yeah.
Do you have your
My kids are
Wi-Fi
crazy.
on? Turn your Wi-Fi off if your Wi-Fi is on.
Okay, I got you. All right, hold on.
Yeah, because if your Wi-Fi is on, it's
It's
trying to
out.
connect to your house. If it's off, yeah, now you're good.
Yeah.
There you go. See?
Okay. Yeah, I just walked by my house, so yeah, you was.
That's
you was
exactly
right
what it was. I have to do that when my big thing is I drop my kids off at school and then I go for walks. I'll take the dog and I'll just go phone call after phone call after phone call while I walk. And if I don't turn the Wi-Fi off, this is what happened. It tries to do Wi-Fi calls. So
Well,
What's
I
going
appreciate
on?
you. Nothing, man. We got a little Discord thing. Thought you was mad at me.
I'm never mad at.
I'm-
You're the second person today that thought I was mad at them, and it created it. I'm never mad. Well, no, that is not true. I do get mad at people, but I was not mad. I was just fucking with you because
Fair
I
enough.
literally was like, didn't you? I called you a name, and you're like, what's up with that? And I'm like, didn't you say some sassy shit to me on the YouTube?
Yeah, and then
And
the
you
only
did.
thing I thought was like at the intro, and when I watch your videos, I comment as I'm watching, so it's not like I watch the whole video and then
Oh
leave a
yeah, I don't give a
comment.
shit. Oh, because I said wild a bunch of times. Did I even do that? I didn't even notice.
It's nothing, bro. It's whatever. I was really just talking shit. That's why I was like, it's all love. Don't think, because there's a lot of
Oh,
people
dude,
that
I
do-
know. There's
yeah.
people who I know. There's real hate. Like I banned that dude that I posted before. Every single comment is negative Nancy hater bullshit. So it's like, all right, dude, if it's funny, like the only times I'll literally be like, fuck you, fuck off, is if it's negative for no reason. If it's funny, like the funny fat jokes, dude, all day. I don't care. If I can't laugh at myself, what kind of life am I living? So I will laugh at the funny fat jokes. I will even show them to my wife. She still laughs to this day that somebody said Angelo's built like a turkey. Those comments, no problem. If my picks suck, and I'm like, dude, your picks suck, but I'm still here, no problem. None of that stuff, Angelo has a list, AIDS, none of that stuff bothers me. The random hate that's consistent if every single comment out of your mouth is negative, gone. I could give a fuck, dude. I worked too hard for that shit. I was just messing with you because all you said was you said wild too many times. Like, I don't give a fuck, dude. That's the nicest thing somebody said to me on Saturday.
That's why I was like, bro,
No, I don't give a fuck.
I didn't know if I just misread your tone, because I asked like, I was
Yes,
like,
you
hey,
misread my tone. Correct.
Oh, fair enough.
Yes.
No, but I did have something I've been wanting to tell y'all. I'm disappointed Jake's not on.
And it's you're a
'cause, like,
fat loser. Yeah. Here comes the negativity.
No. No, I was Mama Tiff.
Were you really?
Yeah. That's why I don't know if you noticed. Gucci
Dude,
Bill was-
holy shit.
Yeah, I wanted to tell you and Jake, but I'm like, I've been trying to tell y'all, and I don't think there's been a Colin show for a couple weeks. So I've been trying to tell y'all. I'm just like ready to, yeah. The two that I was, because there was
That's
a bunch of
so
different
funny.
things. Yeah, I did Mama Tiff and then Papa Bodetti. Any of the other ones, someone did Tiffany Bodetti, and there's a bunch of other ones. I just did those two, and I tried to switch over to Papa Bodetti because when I realized you said you was like being
well, so
too
the
real.
you were that actually started to annoy me because when it got to me is when you were, dude, I can't believe it. You were fucking Mama Tiff. What a fucking joke. I gotta tell Tiffany. So the first time you did it was absolutely hilarious, genius, loved it. But then when you started answering people like literally as her, I was like, all right, people are dumb and they're not going to know this is a joke. That's when I started to be like, no. But at first it was hilarious. But
So-
when you were literally like, thank you for supporting my husband, we appreciate it. That's what I was like, no, this is too serious and people aren't going to know. Like when it's obvious, like my husband's AIDS, it's like, all right, that's a joke. But when it was like, thank you for your support, we appreciate it. I'm like, no, dude, nobody's going to know that's not real.
Fair. No, I get that.
Dude,
And
that's so fucking funny, man.
well, that's where I had a hard time because you were kind of explaining it's being too real, but like
That's
and I
when,
understand- I understand the internet can be wild, but like, maybe I'm a sensitive dude. I don't want to disrespect your wife and be too like. That's
Oh
kind
no,
of a
it
thin
wasn't
line.
that. Oh no, fuck that.
That's a thin line for me because I don't want to say like crazy shit with your wife. So I was trying to be more realistically funny. But that was
dude,
getting you, so I was just like, fuck it. I'm just going.
Oh, dude, that's so funny. No, that's a first of all, hilarious bit. Great job. I just texted Jacob and I said, motherfucker, guess who Mama Tiff was? He hasn't answered yet. No, that was a hilarious bit for sure. I wasn't upset about like, oh, I don't give a fuck, dude. Say what you want about my wife. Who gives a shit? Like, you're not gonna do it in real life. Like that doesn't matter. When I said too real, it was literally like, I was worried people were going to think you actually were her. And that my wife is here being like, support my husband's AIDS. That's when I was like, all right, this is too real. Not like, oh, I said something. No. That's when I was like, dude, people are fucking dumb and they're going to see it and they're going to think it's real. Dude, that's so funny that it was you.
Yeah,
People
bro.
were convinced it was Jacob.
I know. Well, I got on a call-in show and asked Jacob about it just to bring it up to feel if y'all had an idea, because I dropped the Easter egg. The first time I did it in the comments, I said, anyone seen Gucci Gill? Just as like a little hint for maybe you or Jacob.
Oh, see, the problem is the comments fly.
Yeah, I know.
So
I
it's
noticed.
hard to see them all. Like obviously, like super chats and stuff literally are different colors and they stick out. Like the comments. So like right now I'm looking at you on my screen. So whatever's happening in the comments, I have no freaking clue.
Sure.
None.
Yeah.
So that is so funny, dude.
Yeah, it hit me, bro. It just hit me like, I was like, man, what's his wife's name? He's always talking about her. I'm like, that shit'd be funny to hop on there, like pretending like, and I made the whole page, got an AIDS ribbon for my avatar.
Dude,
like,
that was literally perfect. Dude, the AIDS ribbon avatar was perfect. Dude, I wish you didn't. Dude, that's so funny, man. That's so funny.
Bro, it was cool.
Good for you. Yeah, that
Thanks,
was that was a great bit, man. Good for you. Good for you.
I tried to switch it up and go pop a bow, but it started feeling played out.
Then there was an uncle one.
Yeah, people
Somebody
was all
did.
on.
Oh, people, dude, the internet's crazy in a good way. Like it's so clever. Like when somebody said I was built like a turkey, like that was hilarious. And like when people, so we have like supporters, we have haters, and then we have hater supporters. And the hater supporters are the people that'll say mean shit, but at the end of the day, they ride with us, but they'll say mean shit because that's what, and I'm fine with that. Dude, if you're saying mean shit that's clever, I love it. Dude, the way I grew up, I haven't had a single friend say something nice to me. Dude, at one point years ago, my wife and I were having problems. And I was like talking to my friends. I'm like, dude, whatever. And not one single person was supportive. They were like, yeah, because you got fucking fat, loser. Like, dude, not one single person was supportive. And I almost love that. Like, that's just literally, there's nothing anybody could say that would actually offend me. There's things you could say that piss me off, but there's nothing you would say that would actually offend me. And when I get a good, like when somebody rips into me good and it's fucking clever, I love it. That's why Jacob and I get along so well, because Like when remember that MMA clown show guy was doing his show,
Oh,
and he
my
would
God,
just
bro.
he would just yell like Angelo's a fat loser, like that was all he would do. And it's like, dude, this is people were like, dude, he called you a fat loser. It's like, dude, Jacob calls me something more offensive in a more clever way. Every single, you think I give a shit about that? Dude, my best friend says worse things to me and he's more clever about it. I don't give a fuck. Yeah. So that's so funny that you were Mama Tiff. That's so funny, man.
Bro, has I don't know like how to quantify how big your channel is. Like it looks big to me because like I don't really have a YouTube channel.
It's big to me, but yeah, if you start comparing.
Does it feel weird? Like, does it feel like you're not famous like a celebrity, but kind of in the MMA community? Like, what's it feel like? You know, I guess I know you managed some fighters, but like you and Jacob, you really getting connected.
At UFC 303, it felt like something, right? Like people were literally, dude, there was one morning, and I'm sorry that I'm forgetting your name if you're watching this. There was one morning, it might have been the morning of the fights. I don't know. I woke up, I got a coffee. I was walking around the casino floor. I just walk. I just walk like for hours. And I'm just walking around drinking my coffee. And somebody at like 7 in the morning is like, Angelo. And I came over. He's like, hey, man. And then at the convention, it happened. At the convention, I expected it, though. Like, those are literally UFC fans there for UFC. Right. But on a random casino floor in the morning, that's when I was like, holy shit. And that felt like, oh my God, we're doing something.
Yeah.
But then you come back to your normal life. There's not a single fucking person in this town that gives a shit about me, what I do. They don't know me. They don't know what I do. And like, I like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like we're big in this little niche of the world. We are a niche of a niche. MMA fans in general are a niche. How many people you know that truly watch UFC and know all about it? Not
bro,
many.
Like 2.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, literally like, 0 of my friends outside of Jacob. Correct.
Yeah.
0 of my friends, like even the people who come for fight nights know the pay-per-view people, which is great. Yeah. But like, you know, nobody's a fan like we are. So we're a niche already as UFC and MMA fans. Then we're a YouTube channel. So that's a niche of a niche. And then of the YouTube channels, the most popular channels are opinion channels, right? Mm-hmm. Like, the Sphere is a failure. Fucking
bro, that shit is getting
views. That's the number one thing you could do right now. So like those channels are huge. So we want picks. We fucking dominate the straight like pick stuff, right? Anybody doing full card breakdowns, we fucking blow them out of the water. But anybody doing the entertainment stuff and the opinion stuff, like fucking Guru and Lucas Tracy, when he was doing that, we're nowhere near them. So it's all about perspective. But you know, we dominate the space that we're in, but it's important that we grow and expand spaces.
Yeah. That I don't understand. Like, I'm not trying to sound like just a UFC shill or whatever, but like I love the sport and I love watching the fights, and I don't get. It's like people just want to see the sport fail or something. I don't get it. Like, do y'all like the sport or not? Like, I don't. Not to mention, like, Dana's not losing money on UFC. From what I understand, that shit's all paid for from the Middle East. He's already got his money.
Sphere.
He's good.
Yeah, the Sphere card is probably, it's not going to lose money because of the pay-per-views. Now, the event, the physical
like
event in person, the gate is definitely a problem for them, right? It's not what they thought it was going to be. It's a problem. But at the same time, like, it is what it is. People who are calling it a massive failure that never planned on buying tickets, who gives a shit? And that's why I opened my quick pick video by saying, who gives a shit? I'm not the one... Dude, I'm not buying a ticket to go there. So as far as I'm concerned, this is a decent card. The main card is good. I like the main card. Like, you know, I'm good with it. If I was going there in person, then you can complain. Like, dude, this is like, I agree that the ticket price to event quality ratio is not good. But we're not going. We're watching on pay-per-view. Yeah. And the $80 for this card is honestly better than the $80 for UFC 307. That card kind of sucks.
Yeah, what's that? That's
That's Alex Pereira.
yeah. Ooh, that's a fun fight though. But
His,
yeah,
his fight is fun,
yeah.
but the
No, no,
co-main
no,
event
for
is
sure.
Raquel Pennington. Like that,
Yeah.
that card kind of sucks. So it's like,
Yeah.
and then it's Stephen Thompson in the feature fight. Like, dude, that's not a good card. That's not
Yeah.
a good card. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna do what I do. But like, you know, people shitting on the Sphere card, it is a bizarre narrative to have. But
When
it's a popular one because you'll get a fuck ton of views out of it.
yeah. When Connor and Chandler, if they get rebooked, you gonna throw
He's
that
never
bet on
fighting
there again?
I'll fucking, yes. And it'll be, yes, I will.
That was gonna
Dude,
be fun. I was looking
He's
forward
never
to that.
fighting again. I was looking forward to
Yeah.
that too. Dude, Connor's never fighting again. Ever.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I tend to agree with you, man. You see Jorge's talking about maybe coming back, but I mean,
Yeah, because he realized there's no money. Like, that's the problem with it. Like, this sport is tough, man, because somebody like Jorge Masvidal's made millions, but he hasn't made generational millions, right? You know, he didn't make 50 million. He probably made 6 or 7. And that sounds like a lot of money. And that is, if you gave me 7 million right now, I'm good forever. You know what I mean? Like, so that's a ton of money, but he drives very, very expensive cars and lives a very, very expensive life. And there's not a lot of new money coming in unless he invested in a business or invested in real estate with recurring revenue. Like, that's the problem with this sport. It's not like other athletes. You can compete in the NFL and you can make 50, 60, 70 million dollars. You don't have to do shit ever again. UFC, the greatest fighters in history don't make what a very good NFL player make. So then you're a Jorge Masvidal who never was a true champion, probably got pay-per-view points a few times because of the BMF belt and stuff like that, made $5-10 million. You could retire off $5-10 million if you live like regular, but you know, he started his own promotion. Guaranteed that lost a ton of money because I don't see it anymore. So, you know what I mean? So all of a sudden that money's gone and now it's like, fuck, I got to go fight again for money. And that's the problem. Yeah, that's the problem with UFC. There's not enough money to really set yourself up for life.
Well, it kind of sucks, like, as a fan, because I want to see these guys fight. So, I mean, and I respect them, and I know they deserve a bunch of money for what they're doing, but they go that Conor route, and it only takes one of those big-ass checks. I mean, like, if Diego Lopez was going to make, you know, what Conor made to fight Floyd, if he was going to make that in this fight, we're not going to probably see Diego Lopez fight.
100. That is the, yes.
And it's kind of a catch-22. So you kind of.
It is, and that's an awesome point because, like, why the fuck is Canelo Alvarez fighting? That dude has made ungodly money.
It's just got to be the love of the sport, right?
Correct. He's made ungodly money, but boxing is so much easier than MMA. It's one thing. You have to worry about one thing. In MMA, you have to worry about 50 things. And, like, I'm not saying it's easier like boxers suck, just easier in that, like, you can be a boxer for longer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, that's a good point you bring up because if you pay him too much, you won't see him again. Like, Alex Pereira is finally getting paid. And we're going to see a ton of him, but that's because he's 36. So he's trying to let me get every fucking dollar I can while I can. Yeah. And he's doing it the right way because he knows, dude, in 2 years, Alex Pereira's retired. So he's like, let me get what I can get when I can get it, as he should.
Hope we get to see him at heavyweight, man, just once. I just want to see what he can do up there. But
dude, I would love if this was WWE and I was writing a script, it would be knocks out Khalil Roundtree, John Jones beats Stipe Miocic. John Jones versus Tom Aspinall is booked. John Jones drops. Alex Pereira steps in, knocks out Tom Aspinall. Then John Jones pops back up and he knocks him out too and retires. That would be, if I could write a script, that would be. I want Alex Pereira to be the greatest fighter that's ever lived, period.
I don't know if that story that gets told is true or not, but I hope it is. Of him sitting in the bar and Izzy's on the TV talking shit about him, and then he just comes and takes over And I mean, he's kind of surpassed Izzy at this point. Definitely
with
at least where they're at now.
The last 2 years. Yeah. For right now. And he's younger. He's younger than, I think he's younger. Let's see.
They got to be close, but.
Israel Adesanya age. Yeah, he's younger. Izzy is younger. Alex Pereira's older than Izzy. And Alex Pereira is the one who's not washed up. And Izzy is coming off multiple losses in a row.
If let's say Pereira wins his next fight and they're both done, who do you think accomplished more?
Say that one more time. I was reading a comment about your accent. Do you sound like you're not even in Ohio?
No, I do got a lisp, and I had not like a
I don't hear
full
a lisp.
Angelo lisp. I'm just playing.
What the fuck?
I'm just playing. No, I'm from Kansas City, so I am from the Midwest.
Oh, there you go.
But I've had a kind of an interesting upbringing. I mean, most people probably feel that way, but I've lived with a whole bunch of different kinds of people. So a lot of influence, I guess.
I only speak one kind of way.
You good? Yeah. Yeah.
But what were you just saying?
If they both retired, who do you think, if they're both done now, who do you think has accomplished more in the UFC? Would you give it to Pereira?
It's got to be Izzy. It has to.
Oh, Izzy. Sure. No, that's fine. Just
for like this Pereira minute right now, if Pereira goes up and wins another belt, holy shit, now it's a discussion. But right now, the way it is, it's got to be Izzy. So dude, he was like the long reigning, second best middleweight of all time. And he beat the best middleweight of all time. Well, he was old, but he beat him.
Yeah. Man, when Silva lost to Weidman, I was a lot younger and I was broke. So I used to watch it at Buffalo Wild Wings, and I just order like a cup of water just to watch the fights. Dude, I cried on my way home. That was my guy. I love the Spider-Man.
Was it what? Oh, that was when he was knocked out, not the broken leg.
Yeah, the one where he got knocked out, where he was like, he acted like he was hurt.
Yeah. The four punch combination did it. Yeah.
Golly, bro. Oh man, that one hurt me.
Dude, the leg break one. We came to Texas, so I was dating my wife. We were not engaged. I think that's the weekend I proposed to her. We came to Texas. We were living together in Florida. We came to Texas, living in sin. We came to Texas to see her friends and family. We're hanging out at her friend's house, and I was like, I got to order this pay-per-view. Well, fucking, this is 12 years ago, long before this channel existed. And so we're at her friend's. I don't know her friends that well, but I don't give a fuck. I was like, dude, I'll send you $60. Order the pay-per-view. So we're watching a pay-per-view at his friend's house. I'm going on and on. Anderson Silva this, Anderson Silva that. Boo, oh, and this is what happened. I said, fucking second kick of the fight, and leg snaps in half. That's over. I was like, holy shit. In this dude's living room, who I just met like hours earlier. It was, I'll never forget that like chain of events. It was crazy.
Yeah. Man, that sucked. I just remember when he showed up, man, beating the shit out of Chris Lieben and
oh, he beat everybody's ass. And like hindsight, you can look at this guy sucked, that guy sucked. Dude, at the time, those people didn't suck. And then he went up to light heavyweight and smoked James Irving. Like, he just beat the shit out of everybody.
Yeah, no one got me hyped like Silva did, man.
That guy was great.
He made me love the sport. And that Forrest Griffin one, I know it's cliche, but that was the most, like, beautiful just combination of moving backwards and dodging. He was a master.
Dude, I forget where I watched it. Dude, I've never missed a UFC event. And I think I was on a trip with my girlfriend, and we were like on a cruise. It was like some Carnival cruise or some shit. And I think I was streaming it over the cruise internet, and it was like cutting in and out, and it was fucking, and I just was watching Anderson Silva like, hands at his waist, like, boom, dropped his ass. It's like, holy shit.
God, it was special.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
Same with, it wasn't as dramatic of a performance, but I remember this was many, many, many years ago. It was George St. Pierre versus BJ Penn 2. And it was my girlfriend's college dorm room. And I ordered the pay-per-view through Yahoo and was in her dorm room watching it on the laptop. And she was like annoyed as fuck. It's like, I'm watching this. Deal with it. You'll deal with it. I'm watching this.
Yeah. Man.
Wild times, dude.
Yeah.
Wild times.
That's crazy. You ain't missed an event. I've been around for a while with the UFC. Silva definitely pulled me in. I remember when I was like in 5th or 6th grade, Spike TV would show like
Oh,
Chuck
yeah.
Liddell fights, and that pulled me in. And then I saw Anderson Silva, and then I never missed a pay-per-view. I don't remember when it was. God, it's been a long time. I feel bad for these, like, I'm not trying to put nobody down. These post-COVID fans, though, like, they didn't get to see these dudes climb. Like, the rise of Conor McGregor was unlike anything
Oh, the
I've
rise
ever
of Conor
seen.
McGregor is wild. That's how Jacob and I like met. Well, that's not how we met, but that's how we
That's how
like
he
he
got
literally
introduced to the sport, right? You put him on,
was
right?
Conor. Well, no, Conor. He knew about UFC because of Conor. So Jacob was like walking his dog, and I was walking my dog, and the
Yeah.
dogs were sniffing each other, and we were talking. And then I don't know how we talked about fights. We started talking about fights. Like, oh, I know Conor McGregor. So then, like, you see him every day. He was literally my neighbor. So I see him every day. And then I was like, well, I'm going to order the pay-per-view because I've never missed a pay-per-view. I'm like, I'm going to order this fight if you want to come watch it. It was Conor versus Jose Aldo. So he came over, and I was like, Jose Aldo's going to whoop his fucking ass, dude. And that's not how that went down. I was like, ugh. And then a few years later, Jacob's at my house. I have my daughter at this time. So me and Jacob are watching Conor McGregor and when he won the lightweight belt, Eddie Alvarez.
Yeah. Oh,
The kid is asleep. My daughter is asleep. Finally, she was colicky as shit, and we were like, yeah, like whisper cheering because it did. It's been a journey, but watching Conor McGregor go from nothing to everything was a wild run.
yeah. Man, he was. That was like so cool. The Dennis Seaver when he beat Dennis Seaver and hops the fence and gets all in Jose's face, and the world tours and then
Dude, the
he pulls
Chad
out and
Mendez
gets-
walkout, the
Yeah.
greatest walkout in the history of time. I see you there, Theog explicit. Is that what the fuck is Theog?
The
I'll get to you in
OG.
a second.
I don't know.
Yeah, it is maybe it's the
I don't see it.
OG. God damn, this
Oh,
is
the
when
OG.
Jacob will make. This is when Jacob will make fun of me for being
Oh,
old.
yeah.
That's
You
definitely what the
fucking
fuck it
fat
is.
fucking
Theog, yeah, Theog. Jesus Christ. When Conor McGregor walked out to a live, whatever the hell her name is, singing that Irish song was insane. Like I watched that fight on my phone in the car when my current wife, I've only been married once. I don't know why I said current wife. When Tiffany, she wasn't my wife at the time, was driving us from Connecticut to New Jersey to my buddy's house. I'm like, you have to drive. I'm watching fights. And I watched that walkout on my phone. I'm like, this is nuts.
Man.
There's the greatest walkout of all time.
Was that when Sinead O'Connor was singing Foggy Dew?
Yeah. It was Sinead
Yeah.
O'Connor. Yeah, I forgot who. Yeah, it was Sinead O'Connor
She
singing.
passed, I think, too.
Yeah, she did. That was the greatest walkout I've ever seen in my life. That was insane.
Oh, yeah. That was
A
awesome.
live band. It was nuts.
Yeah. Hey, I'll get off here for the OG. I don't want any problems. So
The OG, not Theog, you fucking fat old idiot.
yeah, you have a good night, man. Go Chiefs.
All right.
Yeah. All right.
See you, dude. All right, Theog, you're on. Don't say anything fucking crazy. Dude, is it the OG and I'm just that fucking dumb?
Yeah, it is the OG, but it's all
God
good, man.
damn it, dude. Damn it, dude. I need like young, cool Jacob to keep me in check. My old ass Theog.
You know what? I think it's a good thing Jacob isn't here because I actually tuned in tonight specifically for Jacob just to shit on him a little bit more about that Jacqueline fight, man. That shit was so
She
crazy.
did grab the glove. Listen, I bet on, I'm going to say Jacqueline. I bet on her and I bet hit and I'm happy about it. I picked her. I was confident, but her fingers were in that fucking glove, dude.
They were, don't get me wrong,
Yes.
but at the same time, but to the trajectory of changing the entire fight, I mean, she let that armbar like just happen still, you know? It's
well,
like,
you could argue, listen, I'm not going to bitch because I got paid.
right.
And she got the fight to the ground instantly. You could argue, if you wanted to, you could argue that right at that moment is when Vanessa Demopoulos was about to end up on top. She was sweeping. She was rolling through, and Jacqueline put her fingers in the glove, and that's how she was able to hold the arm and sit up. But I don't think it. I think the outcome is the outcome. Like, it was going to happen.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Like, they miss shit sometimes, and it is what it is. Deal with it. Stop fucking, like, Vanessa should have said something, as she did. But I also got the impression she almost gave up, thinking that she could just protest, and that was gonna be. They were gonna watch the tape and overrule it.
That's the thing with some of these fights. I noticed these guys, like, I think that happened on another fight that night too. I think it was an eye poke or something.
Oh, dude, when fucking Andre Lima called his own timeout, like, fucking, he's in charge of the shit. It was crazy.
With that one, and then when Buddy ate the elbow to the eye.
Oh, yeah. That's why my recap video, my recap video, the caption for that picture was, thank God for the referee. Because Rongju was like, oh, my eye. And he put his hand out like, hey, ref, I got poked. And luckily that ref was like, nah, motherfucker, no, you didn't. No, like, keep fighting. Where another an insecure ref would have been like, oh, hold on, there was an eye poke.
Yeah,
and luckily that didn't happen.
Wrong didn't have that Andre Lima aura, I guess, or something, because these guys, they expect, as soon as they say something, the fights, it's paused. I think the same thing happened with Chris Padilla, and I think that it was the actual moment, but still, it's like you can call it out, but still fight it, man. She fell right into that armbar, and like it felt like she was just waiting for the ref to call it, and she was expecting, and I totally get, like, something illegal happened and you yelled about it, but you have to keep. Dude, nothing was worse than so Andre Lima's a fucking asshole. Not only did he call his own fake timeout, that dude, remember his arm was fully extended and he grabbed the cage like no big deal. No big deal. I'm just grabbing the cage in front of everybody. No big deal. But the ref didn't see it. There was no penalty, no warning, nothing. Like, that's just, unfortunately, that's the sport. Yeah, you're
keep
right.
Fighting. You can yell, he's grabbing the cage, but you can't lessen what you're doing. And that's what it felt like Vanessa was expecting, like, a stand-up. Like, oh, she grabbed the glove? Here you go. I'll take your word for it. Stand up. You don't have to defend that. Stand up.
Yeah, man. That was a pretty good fight. It was definitely a little controversy. Obviously, there's always one of those fights at the end. But I wish Jacob was here just because of that, because he was like, I think I even typed in the comments, I was like, don't ever doubt Amarim again, man. If it gets to the ground, and he's like, yeah, get the fuck out. I'll fade her again. And I was like, dude.
He did. I actually was watching the stream, and I think I heard him say, I'm going to fade her again or something like that. Yeah. No, it is funny because, dude, the Vanessa pick made sense to me because she doesn't get – I actually got a little annoyed at him because I placed that bet on Jacqueline Amorim inside the distance decision, no action. I placed that bet because I was like, I don't see her getting finished because Vanessa's the least dangerous person in this division, period. Okay. So I'll get a refund. And she could win by finish. I already placed the bet. I submitted it. I placed it. I shared it. And then he texts me, bad bet. You should have just done Jacqueline, because I put $100 on it. He's like, you should have just done Jacqueline to win by submission for $20 because that's the only way she wins and the odds are better. And it fucking pissed me off. Because I was like, I've already placed the bet. Don't tell me it's gone. The money is gone. Like, what I don't need is after the fact you tell me. But then hindsight, it's like, Jacqueline, because his whole thing was if Jacqueline loses, she gets finished. It's not a decision. And he's like, instead of betting 100, you could have bet 20. He wasn't wrong. Right. But it fucking pissed me off.
Because after the fact.
Yeah, dude, fuck you. You want to tell me, like, fucking tell me. You just saw it. You know I spent my money. You're going to tell me I spent it like an idiot? Fuck you. So like that legit bothered the shit out of me. But
didn't you guys bet on that too?
Dude, I don't know what we ended up landing on because I offered multiple bets last week. I think we argued about betting on that. We certainly argued about the main event. We argued about Cody Brundage. No, Durden. Yeah, Durden.
Durden, yeah.
Dude, I fucking confuse him. Cody Durden being dangerous with a knockdown. We argued the shit out of that. Then at one point I texted him because we were arguing about picks. And I was like, this is just him and I in private text. We were fucking arguing. And I was like, because he always makes fun of me for like not betting a lot of money. It's like, well, I got fucking,
he's
fucking
going
kids.
Crazy, man. He was, he does load up a little bit.
Oh, he does. We have different levels of responsibility. So I was like, I was just so fucking mad at him. And I literally wrote, dude, I'll bet you $500 I get more picks right than you. And he never answered, and I fucking got more picks right.
That's
I'll tell you that much.
So it's like actually pretty astonishing considering Jacob's record the past few main events.
Jacobs, what he's done great. I don't know about his pick record versus mine or anything like that, but he's been on it. Like he's been on it bet wise. I have no idea about his picks because I don't. You say your picks and I forget them. Like I don't. But bet wise, he's been on it. The only reason I know I did better than him in picks this last week, the only reason I know is because we were heads up on 6 fights. And I got 4 and he got 2. So that's the only reason I know that like I picked better than him. Usually the picks I forget and that's it.
Yeah, no, dude, you were on it too, especially with the Yanal fight, man. That I was like, bro, I agree 100%. Peak
fucking sucks, man. It's so crazy how bad that guy is at fight. He's so bad at his job. It's crazy. So bad.
Who, Ashmos?
No, Trevor Peek.
Oh, Trevor Peek. Yeah, that's exactly how I predicted that fight.
He's tough as fuck, but he just sucks.
He's not as clean and sharp as Yanal is, man, and it proved. And that's why I wish Jacob was here just for that alone, because he be talking so much shit on you, and I see it all the time in every single episode. He gets on your ass. You know what I mean? And I get it. It's all fun and jokes, but man, you were on the money this week. And, you know, I am a premium member as well, so shout out you guys. I do support it. I love the content, man, and I appreciate everything you guys do, really. You guys are really a very dynamic duo, and it's super interesting to watch you guys.
No, I appreciate that. And, you know, obviously, like the two of us together, we are very, very different. I literally was just going through my text right now. I searched my text messages for $500 because I fucking said that to him. That was because he said, I'm going to read the text. Then this is what I'm going to here is it literally is the fact that we disagree and argue. This is his text to me. That Amorim bet is such a terrible bet. Just bet her inside the distance for a smaller bet and eat the loss. If she loses, she gets finished. That advice is not bad. It's not. That is good advice.
Yeah,
but
reasonable.
Fuck you for telling me after the fact. So Angelo, who's not usually open to other feedback, like go fuck yourself, I responded with, let's bet $500 on whoever gets the most bits correctly. Just total picks. Because I'm just annoyed. Yeah. And I know we're heads up on a ton. And he goes, you could have just done $25 on plus 200 because if she wins, it'll be inside the distance. I'm just trying to help. And then I wrote LMAO Chinny Gamrot because if you remember. Yeah. So then he goes, okay, man. And then I said, criticizing a bet. Oh, shit. Are you still there?
Yeah.
Sorry, I fucking clicked a weird button on my phone. And then he goes, Chimmy Gamrot. And then he goes, okay, man. And then I said, criticizing a bet after his place is not helpful. And he goes, it's hard to see you like this. Motherfucker.
It's hard to see you like this. No, I get it, though, why Angelo feels that way. I mean, Jacob feels that way, too. Because even, I don't know if you, I'm sure you do. Do you tune into when he's doing, like, the Dana White shit?
What do you mean?
Like the Contender series?
Oh, the Contender series? The problem is it's on, like, at, like, bedtime routine for the kids. So I usually catch the last 20 minutes or so. Got you. But even with those, man, with the very last minute, you know, shit he'd be looking up. Like, I get why he does talking shit. It is funny. It's just one of those weeks where it's like, you know, I just want to get on him a little bit because I feel like nobody does. Oh, they do. Actually, the most memorable thing from his live stream was there was a million things, but for me was he was talking about I think it was Sean Brady and how sensitive he is and how people criticized him and he threw a fit. And then Joe Pyfer couldn't handle internet criticism. And Jacob literally was like, live in my world. Lose 2 lock of the weeks in a row. Yeah. And read the messages I get and the comments that we get and live in that world. And he's not wrong. Cause like, dude, like, that's just how it is, man. We're doing really, really fucking well. Really fucking well right now. We have been for a while. The minute we have a bad card, which we will, it is going to happen. It's impossible not to. The minute we have a bad card, every fucking hater weirdo, boom, you fucking scam, you suck, scam. And like, he gets it worse than I do because he's the more like confident. Like he'll be like, this guy sucks and blah, blah, blah. So if it doesn't go that way, he's fucked. Where I'm like, yeah, they could win. So it's a little different.
That's why I like when you guys say, do your own research still. Like, do not take word as bond and like just actually just go full. And these guys, are throwing 11 leg parlays in and shit. They're trying to bet the entire.
Oh, dude, don't do a fucking 19 leg parlay and then complain to me when the underdog I picked blew your parlay. Like, what the fuck? What are you doing?
Dude,
what are you doing?
I get them though. I used to kind of do the same thing when I first started. I'm new to UFC. I think I heard the end bit of the last guy that was on. And he was saying, I feel bad for the after COVID guys. And I'm one of those guys because I can totally relate
that's
now.
the vast majority. Yeah.
I see completely exactly what he's saying because I'm looking now at the new era coming in and the old leaving, and it's like, oh, shit. Like, I came in at such a weird time, but it's just, I think that's the second question I want to ask you, too. What would you, I'm not sure if he asked you this or what, but what fight was it that got you into this as hyped as you are now, into where you decided to create this channel and really get into it like that? Because for me, it was that Brian Ortega Volkanovski fight.
Oh, really?
When
he almost choked him out?
Yeah, and I was sitting there and I was like, holy shit, like that was so badass. And so what was it for you?
Well, I've seen every fight ever when it aired. So I saw UFC 1. I saw UFC 2, UFC 3. So I've seen every fight ever when they aired. And it's because my cousins my cousins lived in Queens, New York, and they had a D-Scrambler. Remember, how old are you?
I'm 26 now.
Holy fucking shit. Well, back in the day, like pay-per-view movies would just air and they would just scramble them. Like it would just be either white, like snow scramble, or like weird colored lines. You could hear it, but you couldn't see it. And back in the day, people could buy a D-Scrambler, or a hot box.
Oh, right. Yeah.
You got a hot box from like some fucking degenerate who also sells drugs, and they would sell you a cable box that had a card in it that you would get all the channels, everything. There was no on demand. There was no paper, like the on demand didn't exist. It was pay-per-view and then just recurring live. Like if you wanted to watch a movie, the same movie it would play and then it would end and then it would play. So you'd have to buy it and then get to it when it started. Anyway, my cousins had a hot box. They had a D-Scrambler. So we were at their house and we saw UFC 1. I was fucking 10. I was 10 years old.
Damn.
It was 1993 and I'm fucking 40. So I was 10 at the time. I was born in 1983. And we watched it. And then we saw UFC 2 and 3 and 4. So I've seen every single UFC, even when they got kicked off. So it was illegal for a long time, and it wasn't on pay-per-view anymore. You had to buy the VHS tapes. So then I bought the VHS tapes. So I've seen every single one ever. So the first half of your question is what got me into it, and it was just my cousin's hotbox. And then the content piece was during COVID. We started after COVID, and I'm very, very glad we did, because everybody who existed before COVID, their channel is fucking struggling right now. And it's because of it. COVID ruined them. It's because of COVID.
Really?
Yeah, because during COVID, it was the only sport that existed. So they got all the casual fans. And the channels grew. They exploded. Fight Night Picks, literally, COVID destroyed them. Do you know who they are?
Fight Night Picks? Maybe I've seen them.
They're two Canadian brothers. They had like 40,000 subscribers before they said we're fucking done. They had 1,000 subscribers in the beginning of 2019. Beginning of 2020. By the end of 2020, COVID, world shutdown, they had 20,000. They got 19,000 new subscribers in 1 year. And it's because the world shut down, every sport shut down, and UFC was the only sport back, the only one. And that's where Fight Island came from. And they were fighting on Fight Island. And the idea of Fight Island and COVID and everything was huge.
I see.
And people started watching. My friends who never watched a fight in their life were texting me about fights. And so they started watching. And everybody's channels who had a YouTube fucking blew up. But then 2 years later, the world goes back to normal. Every sport is back. People are living their lives. And they're not consuming that same YouTube content. So now YouTube is saying, they're looking at channels like Fight Night Picks saying, hey, you have fucking 35,000 subscribers, but your videos are only getting 10,000, 12,000 views.
Right.
Your content must suck. But it's not that their content sucked. It's that a giant portion of their audience was only there temporarily because their lives were dramatically impacted by COVID. So anyway, that rant was because I'm glad we didn't start during or before COVID.
Right. You guys would have got drowned out within everything.
We would have suffered from the same fate that all these OG YouTubers in the MMA space suffer from now, which is high subscriber count, bullshit views. If you go to socialblade.com and you put in "we want picks" and you look at our views, and then you type in I'm not going to name any names because I'm not trying to fucking cause problems, and look at any of the MMA YouTube channels that were here before us outside of MMA Guru, he's the only person that survived, and look at their views compared to ours, it's not even fucking close.
Yeah.
And that's because of the YouTube algorithm. So during COVID, we fell into that same trap. I had seen every UFC in history. Jacob, Casey, everybody from the vlogs were coming over to watch fights at my house long before this channel existed. But during COVID, they got into DraftKings Fantasy because I was like, hey, we should do this.
Right.
And I started consuming MMA YouTube because I would search undercard fighters nobody's ever fucking heard of, ever.
Right.
So I would search them, and then I found Fight Night Picks. They were the first channel. And I would watch them, and then I would watch a few other people. And I was like, we could do this. So then in 2022, I think we started, or 2021, I forget when it was. Then I was like, we could do this. And that's what triggered me to do it. And now there's a whole new generation of people like fucking Bet Slam with Sam, that fucking loser who's watching us right now in the queue, who's starting he's watching me saying I could do this. He can't fucking do this. But that's how we started.
Yeah, that's
long
cool,
ass story, but that's how we started.
Nah, that's good, bro. It's always, I mean, like you said, you guys came a long way too, and it's just cool to see the growth. And honestly, I'm glad to be a part of it too, man. Just see and lock in with you guys too. I mean, I don't really want to hold up too much time either because I had a lot more questions for the both of you guys. I thought Jake
sure
as well.
No, Jacob, just disappointing Ange.
Yeah, right. Fuck, man.
That fat fuck built like a turkey loser, Angelo.
Nah, Ange, don't talk like that, man. Everyone knows. Everyone knows they got to kiss the ring with Ange, man. They got to, you know what I mean? They got to show a little respect to Ange. Come on, the fuck.
They don't, but I appreciate it for sure. I appreciate it.
Nah, man. But hey, I'm gonna let you get on to the next guy. He probably has a little bit more, you know, to lock in about.
He's gonna try to plug his own shit and try to poach my viewers, but I'll let him on anyway. Fucking.
Is that the same guy that said that Jakey Boy Lock of the Week made me $10,000?
No. It's the guy that I think his picks last week were absolute fucking dog shit. But we'll hear him out. We'll let him on. We'll hear him out.
For sure, man. All right, man. I appreciate these. I like when you guys do these. Hopefully you guys do another one next week. I don't know when you guys really do.
We might even do one this Thursday. We'll see how the week goes.
Okay, cool. All right, for sure, man. Hey, you guys have a good rest of the night. Shout out, chat. You guys be smooth.
All right, we appreciate you. See ya. All right, Bet Slam. Go ahead. Say whatever the fuck you're going to say.
Hey, man, I'm not going to keep you too long. I'm just outside the hospital.
I'm just outside
the hospital.
I'm just messing. Why?
Not at home. Why? I suffer from spontaneous cardiac arrest, but that's not what I'm here to talk about.
Wait, no. Back the fuck up. No. You just randomly have heart attacks?
Yeah. I have an implantable cardiac defibrillator because ever since I was 15, I've had spontaneous cardiac arrest, so I just dropped dead. They don't know what the cause of it is. It's just something that happens.
Is it your eating habits?
No, I was.
Maybe it's because the first 10 times you called into the show, you were at the fucking alcohol store.
No. I was.
You think it has to do with that?
With a six-pack, and I was, starting in the local rugby team when I first had my first cardiac arrest. So it's not that.
And what do they think about your alcohol habits?
Well, I haven't drank for 7 months now. 7 months.
Oh, hey, congratulations!
Yeah.
Wait, I'm giving you a hard time. That's not because you had a problem, right?
No. I mean,
I
I wouldn't say that I had a problem, but I definitely I just abused alcohol, and every time I drank, it was like, sorry, the hospital's calling me, bro. Anyway, I just wanted to congratulate you guys on your picks, and bet another host stealing. Take it easy.
All right, see you, dude. Good fucking luck. Holy shit. Here I am. There's somebody else in the queue here, Sander. Your camera's not on, and he's gone. We're going to shut this down. It's been 2 hours. I usually do this for an hour. Listen, BetSlam, my fucking bad, dude. He would call in. We started these calling shows like 2 years ago. He started calling in like 6-7 months ago. He would call in every time we did a show at the same time. Dude, I'm not fucking beating a man while he's down. How do I fucking know? How do I know when I put him on that this motherfucker who's called in a show 10 times has a heart that doesn't work? What's that Denzel movie? Hold on. What's that? Nobody's going to get this. This is just for me. Nobody's going to get this fucking reference. Hold on. Shut up while I look this up. Everybody fucking shut up. Hold on. We're going to find it. What's that Denzel movie? See if one of you nerds beats me to it. What is the Denzel movie where he holds like the ER hostage to get his kid a heart? Where is it? All right, I'm just going to read him. Fallen, He Got Game, The Siege, Bone Collector, Hurricane, Remember the Titans. John Q is John Q. Yes, you got there. It's fucking, I didn't know. How am I supposed to know BetSlam is fucking John Q right now, demanding a heart that actually works? My bad. But also, how about me drinking this cup of alcohol and I don't need a fucking pacemaker? No, in all seriousness, no. My bad, dude. I don't know. Fucking, how am I supposed to know people's health conditions? But the first few times he called in, he literally called in from the liquor store, like parked outside of the liquor store. So yeah, I'm going to make liquor jokes. And this dude, Alexander, keeps calling in and then keeps dropping. I'm shutting this down. It's been 2+ hours. A good chunk of it was me talking to myself. The rest of it was some callers. I appreciate all of you. I'm competing with Monday Night Football. There's no Jakey Boy. We're not talking about actual fights. I get it. I thank every single one of you for every single thing that you do. Hanging out, watching, clicking, doing everything that you do. We appreciate you. Hopefully Wednesday, we'll do our full card breakdown combined. And then, off to the normal routine. And hopefully Jacob's here Saturday for a vlog, which means you won't get him for a, you know what? Let me shut this down. Sometimes you just got to pin a comment. Sometimes the audience is very smart. And Noah seems like a straight up genius. Appreciate all of you. We'll catch you hopefully on Wednesday right here live breaking down this card.